clicking this thing.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another night of Get Their Magic. My name's Kirby. I'm here with Nathaniel.
Hello, everyone.
And we got some Modern going on. Before we get started with the rundown, we are going to be using a cool little extension plugin.
Yep, it's called Cardboard Live. It allows, if you are on a computer, specifically it does not currently work on mobile, but if you are viewing this on a computer, you can kind of click on the little thing that's floating above each of the where the players are and see their deck list. It has image loadouts that if you just hover over them, you can copy the deck from it. And in general, it seems like a really solid app for this type of thing.
Mm-hmm. I know a lot of you ask us, like, while the stream is going, about deck lists and everything. So this will be a very convenient one for you to just take a look at.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, the hover over makes it great for any cards that you're unfamiliar with, especially if it's something new that just came out in Ravnica.
Mm-hmm. And they were even so kind as to give us a small little plug on their Twitter, so I do want to mention them. And hopefully this helps out a little bit with your viewing experience. So with that, I think that we can kind of cut to what we're doing tonight.
Yep. So once again, we're doing Modern tonight. First round is going to be Justin on Risky Burn versus Ryan on Jund. Risky Burn is what it sounds like. It is your traditional burn, but it has risky...
It's risk factor.
Risk factor? Okay.
Yeah. So I'm not going to lie, I looked at the deck list for a good little bit, and I just could not for the life of me figure out what it meant. And then when I saw the card risk factor in there, I was like, oh, it's because it has risky risk factor in there. So this card
you want to bring that up real quick?
Yeah, we'll just go and cut on over to Risky Burn. And we even have risk factor pulled on up here, as that's the main card of the namesake of this deck.
Mm-hmm.
So this deck is just kind of, at its core, a regular Modern burn list.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing too exciting here aside from the risk factor. And
the big thing that Justin took out was the skull cracks for this.
Mm-hmm.
They were kind of underperforming. There are specific matchups that they are helpful with. That Justin might be moving the back into the sideboard.
Yeah.
But he wanted to give this card a try. It's a very interesting card because in the past, many Punisher effects weren't very good.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you can use it twice due to the jump start makes it a lot more favorable. But as we were discussing before the stream, it is a card that you can only really put in a deck that's applying enough pressure to your opponent.
Yes. I can say, as kind of a mostly dedicated control player in Modern, this card feels like it would be kind of backbreaking if you're playing a blue-white X control deck against this, because a lot of times you can kind of get them to the point that they're top decking, and that's when you stabilize. But if they have this card, you have to counter it the first time or let them draw some cards. You're not liking that option, so you want to counter it, and then the next turn, if they draw a blank card, they can just turn it into this again. And once again, you have to counter it or let them draw cards or whatever it is you really want to, how you can handle it. But this card seems like in certain matchups it could give them a little bit more of a late game.
Mm-hmm. Jumpstart's been a fun mechanic, but it's definitely different than Flashback. Because you're not getting that extra value. It's not free. You're just turning one of your cards in hand into that spell. A lot of times it's going to be a land. Sometimes the card in your hand just is not as strong as the card you want to jumpstart.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of get the payoff there. So it's different, but it's still a very good mechanic.
Yeah. It also, specifically in this deck, gives another good incentive to not just play lands willy-nilly beyond like the second or third land. In addition to your Searing Blazes being worse, it also means that later in the game you can hold a land, so if you draw the risk factor, you can double down on it. And it just kind of gives that little additional thing to think about if you're playing this version of the deck.
Mm-hmm.
So,
especially since for Modern Burn, like you really don't want to go past that third land.
Yes.
So this is just something you can do with that land later on.
Yeah. And aside from that, there's nothing too much to really talk about here. So switching over to the Jund list. And this list is running some number of Assassin Trophies. We were not able to update the deck list in time because the player made a last-minute decision to change the deck list. There are 3 Assassin Trophies and 0 Abrupt Decays in this list. It won't impact gameplay very much, but is worth noting here. And Assassin Trophy seems like a very neat card for Jund or any Green-Black X mid-range deck to really pick up.
For Modern that's not as blue heavy as something like Legacy,
Yeah.
Assassin's Trophy a lot of times is going to be the better card over Abrupt Decay. There's going to be a lot more 4 CMC or larger permanents.
Yes.
Like, I was going to say creatures, but also Planeswalkers, Jace the Mind Sculptor, you got Karns, and it also helps deal with Tron.
Yes.
I think that's what they were really going for with this card, to allow you to hit any permanent, but they get to search up a basic land.
I can say I did play in a modern event of the weekend. I got to play against a green-black mid-range, not Jund, just straight green-black. Deck seemed strong, but I did have a moment where I was able to kind of get stabilized and play a Planeswalker, and it just immediately died to an Assassin Trophy. And it's one of those things that previous to this, it wasn't so much a concern on your radar if you play your Jace or your Teferi, as long as you're upticking the Jace or not minusing the Teferi. It's not going to die the turn you play it, but now they can just kill it, untap, and then do what they want to do. And it feels like this card, like you said, it's good against Tron, it's good against Control. Even in the mirror, it allows you to kill if they're playing Bloodbraid Elf, you can kill that. You can kill Raging Ravine, and a lot of examples like that.
Oh, yeah. It's a great hit off of Bloodbraid.
Yes.
Because you can just use it on anything.
Yes.
Like, even if they just have, like, a Colonnade there, and the rest of their board is there's nothing else on their board, you can still just go ahead, hit that Colonnade. It's not something you have to worry about later, instead of just having an Abrupt Decay that goes to the bottom.
No, it's one of those things that kind of shuts off the awkwardness that you had with Bloodbraid Elf in the past. Now with Bloodbraid Elf, you only have 2 dead hits. If you cascade into it in the form of Fatal Pushes, your discard spells can be dead hits theoretically, but if your opponent has 0 cards in hand, I think you're fine with that. So just having that little additional efficiency with your Bloodbraid Elf does give this deck a little bit more to go for it, in my opinion. So aside from that, nothing really else. It's Jund. Everyone knows this deck if they've seen the format at all. So I think that we're going to go ahead and swap on over to the feature match here and let them know they can start whenever.
You guys can start.
And looks like we're going to start here with some information on the Justin side. Oh, boop.
There we go.
There we go. I forgot to do the thing. So Ryan starting off in the Thoughtseize. Not exactly your best discard spell in this matchup, but...
No, it basically says that Bolt is 1 less damage.
Yeah. Now, Ryan's hand has another Thoughtseize in it. Isn't exactly the best thing for him to be seeing right now, but that's fine. Justin's hand just seems like an average burn hand, honestly.
He has a lot of low drops and burn. Like, that's all you can ask for. As long as he doesn't flood out, like, it's always favorable for burn here.
Yeah, the Jund deck has minimal life gain in the main board. I think I'm not exactly sure what all in this list, but it makes it a little bit harder for it to get back up from a really low life total, and you can't exactly win a top deck war when your opponent's just top decking things that dome you.
And the only main board life gain they normally have is Scavenging Ooze, which you still got to get that creature into the graveyard and hope that it doesn't get burned by the time that happens.
It's also really inefficient to try to gain back your life off of the Scavenging Ooze.
All right, so back over to Ryan.
He's shuffling, man.
He is shuffling.
I think we're going to see a Tarmogoyf hitting the board here, because I'm pretty sure he has one in hand. Yep. And that is currently a 3/4.
Yeah, it's probably one of the best blockers he has in this matchup as well.
Yeah.
Because we all know how Lightning Bolts match up against Tarmogoyfs.
Yeah. I haven't seen that as much lately, but I've definitely seen that happen where someone still does that, does the Lightning Bolt a 2/3 Tarmogoyf, and that becomes a 3/4, and then you have to explain it, and it's not a great time.
Anybody who's new to Modern, like, they learn that.
Yeah. Now, I wonder if I imagine we're going to see Justin bolt the Goyf here just to kill it, but there's a small chance he goes face with it.
I think the bolt to the Goyf is fine. Like, he is 2-for-1ing himself, but that Goyf is going to be a large blocker that he's not going to be able to get through otherwise.
Yeah, and this does theoretically push through more than 3 damage in future turns by allowing that Monastery Swiftspear to go unblocked in the upcoming turns.
All right. If I go to Ryan and have a Liliana.
And that's going to immediately get minused, which goes ahead and takes care of the Monastery Swiftspear.
And Liliana main board is probably one of the best cards that he has against Burn, because it slowly removes the number of resources that they have available and can deal with whatever creature that they have on the board.
Yeah. And right now, Justin has to consider whether or not he wants to point a burn spell at the Liliana. I believe his hand is currently Rift Bolt, Lightning Helix, Lava Spike, and one other card.
And he does decide to Lightning Helix the Liliana to get it out of there, which is much better than Liliana ticking up and him losing a card anyways.
Yeah. And it looks like we're going to see Justin's hand here. The third card was an Eidolon of the Great Revel, and it gets picked off with Thoughtseize.
Okay. We have a Swiftspear into a Lava Spike to do 5 damage that turn.
Yep, and now Ryan's... he's above 6, so 2 burn spells don't outright kill him, but he is starting to reach a very dangerous life total in this matchup.
All right. That's a good hit for him, Inquisition, to get rid of that spell.
Yep. And I would not be that aggressive, personally.
I understand it, because the longer you wait, the more of a chance Justin's just going to get you with burn spells off the top. Like, you have to start applying some pressure.
Okay, sure. And it looks like he has another Blood Braid off here.
Even more reason to be aggressive here.
And that Liliana's a really good hit. He's just going to use that, kill off the Swiftspear, and now he's got Justin on, theoretically, dead next turn if he draws into another untapped land.
And it looks like the aggressive line is really going to pay off for him.
It certainly does look that way. And Justin here just breaking off by drawing another land. That's not what he wants to see.
Ryan has Brutality here just to gain a couple life. And he's going to be putting Justin down to 2.
Justin down 2, Ryan up to 8. I don't think that Justin can get out of this situation. Draws a Boros Charm, not good enough.
Alrighty. So we move over to sideboard. I guess let's start with Justin.
Start with Justin. Alright, so got Justin here. And what off the to start with do you like out of the sideboard here?
Man, that's a good question. So the Searing Bloods don't do very much against stuff like Tarmogoyf. Jund does run Bob. Is he on Bob for this version? I assume he is.
He is running 3 Dark Confidant, 4 Tarmogoyf, 3 Scavenging Ooze, and 4 Bloodbraid Elves as his creatures.
So I can see an argument for Searing Blood because it does hit the Blood Braids, it does hit the Bobs, potentially Scavenging Ooze. The other one to consider is Deflecting Palm, to be able to do damage off of an attacking Tarmogoyf.
Yep.
Outside of that, I don't really like the Rest in Peace here. I know that it can shut off a Tarmogoyf and shut off Scavenging Ooze, but I don't think that's what you want to be doing against the Jund matchup.
No. Against Jund, you don't want to be having a card in your deck that just hits the board and doesn't actually do anything to impact your opponent's life total or really impact much of what's going on. It can shrink a Tarmogoyf, it can make a call against command worse, and it can make a Scavenging Ooze worse, but I think a lot of times you prefer to just have a burn spell there. I think that right now, the cards you've mentioned, either the Searing Bloods or the Deflecting Bombs, are the main things worth considering. And I don't really know what in your main board is bad, per se. I feel like maybe your Lava Spikes are your weakest card, but I'm also really not that big on how to play this deck.
Justin's on the play right now.
Yeah.
So I could potentially see him just not changing anything out here.
Sure.
And being the aggressor. On the draw, I think there's an argument for maybe Goblin Guide. Because it does not do very much in the late game. It does not play well against Tarmogoyf. And it just gives Jund a few more draws. Even though that part is minor compared to not being able to get through a Tarmogoyf.
Yeah, I mean, I think on the draw, it's worth thinking about, but on the play, I think you want that. So we'll see if he does anything here to change his main board over, and switch over to Jund real quick, just kind of see what he's possibly working with here. And I know the first two cards are pretty easy to bring in here.
Oh, yeah.
So we got Kitchen Finks.
I was going to try and hurry up and say Damping Sphere to just mess with you. But
all right, I like Kitchen Finks. I like Cletus. I like Collective Brutality.
Yes.
And aside from that, the one Kolaghan's command is the only other thing I would consider, but I don't think it's necessary. And Anger of the Gods seems a little clunky to me.
Correct. What to take out of the main board? The Thoughtseizes are not great.
They are not great.
So you have 3 of those coming out to allow you to put in the Kitchen Finks and the Kalitas.
All right, and I could see possibly cutting down to 2 Assassin's Trophy to bring in the Collective Brutality. The downside of the Assassin Trophy in this matchup actually is there, because a lot of times Burn will keep we have to keep a 1 or 2 land hand, and sometimes allowing them to have additional lands just makes their game plan even better. Especially, he doesn't know this yet. Well, he shouldn't know this yet, but with the way Justin's deck is configured, the more lands he has, the more potent his late game is. So,
the only other card I can think that you might want to cut is a Dark Confidant.
That is reasonable. That little bit of life loss there can start to add up as the game goes long. So, right. I think that we're good to swap on over.
You all can start. All right. So Justin's going to just start off with Fetch Shock into a Lava Spike. And back over to Ryan, who just plays a Treetop tapped. Also, if you're just tuning in and you're on a desktop or laptop, you might notice a couple little hover-overs that you can open up to view both players' deck lists.
Yes, that's from the app known as Cardboard Live, just giving a little additional way for you to mid-game view the deck without having to worry about going to a Goldfish link or whichever website we might link to, and just makes it a little bit quicker and easier for you to have a better view of what's happening from both player sides.
All right. So Ryan is going to escalate a Collective Brutality to drain Justin for 2 and make him discard an instant or sorcery, in which he's going to pull out that Searing Blaze, which can definitely be trouble.
Yes. All right, so
it looks like Justin's just fetching in a turn.
Yeah, Justin not exactly having a very exciting start here.
And he's just not taking enough risks.
Not living up to the name of his deck. Just really suboptimal play.
Yeah. Swift Sphere into his 3rd Lava Spike.
Okay.
And putting Ryan down to 11.
He's starting to build up a little bit of damage here.
Yep.
And that Tarmogoyf is not terrible, but Justin might be able to get his way around it simply by going face here.
Yeah, like, everything is still going fine for Justin. Ryan's going to need more interaction to just not get burnt out here. I believe Justin has both a Boros Charm and a Lightning Helix in hand.
Yes.
Which is 7 of the 11 damage that he needs to deal with to Ryan.
Yes, and that's no small thing here. So unless Ryan's able to start gaining up increments of life, he is in very real danger of just losing to what Justin has.
May have been mistaken. So that was the 3rd Lava Spike there, putting Ryan down to 8. I guess it's not a Boros Charm, but the other card is a Lightning Helix. So it is going to take a couple more turns.
Also, it looks like Justin there went for a kind of risky bluff with the attack on the Monastery Swift Sphere. He thought about doing something after the block had been declared, but ended up deciding not to, so he just kind of gave away the Monastery Swift Sphere for free, which does free up Ryan's ability, free up Ryan a little bit to not have to worry about one creature in play.
I don't really see the reason for taking that risk among other cards in his deck.
I think that it may have honestly been a misplay, and that little bit of a pullback we saw when he tapped the 2 lands was him realizing that the line he went for wasn't that great.
Because essentially it's a 2-for-1 against Justin. And he might be better off just keeping that back.
Yes. As
a blocker. Now, in this scenario, it didn't really matter, because Ryan would have had a Fatal Push to deal with the Swift Spear.
Yes.
But, yeah. I think Ryan just goes ahead, attacks with both. He needs to keep putting that pressure on.
And it looks like Justin here just going to go for a Lightning Helix to gain up some life here. Put Ryan down to 4 life. Means Ryan is dead to a Boros Charm off the top here, but Justin not having luck with that draw.
Mm-hmm. So right now, the Tarmogoyf has Creature, Land, Sorcery, Instant, Planeswalker. So it's attacking for 5. We have the Bloodbrave, which brings it up to 8. And I'm surprised not to see the Treetop, unless Ryan has Kolaghan's Command to deal the last 2 damage.
Okay, well that was a pretty blistering 2-0 from Ryan's side there against Jund. So now that we've seen that, we're going to see Justin again, only this time he's going to be going against one of the decks that's started picking up some steam with the new set. Mm-hmm. It's Zoo using Pelt Collector and Vexing Devil to kind of just get that little additional value in your early game off your big creatures, and see how that goes against this version of Burn. I'm actually going to pull up the Zoo list real quick.
Mm-hmm. And if you want to bring up an image of...
Pelt Collector. God, rip.
Let's try that again.
All right, bam.
So, switching over to Zoo, and we're going to bring up Pelt Collector in a moment.
Yeah.
I really like this card. It reminds me a lot of Experiment 1. Mm-hmm. I think in a lot of cases it's better than Experiment 1 as well.
I would agree.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's definitely not strictly better. That phrase gets thrown around a little too much.
All right. I wouldn't say it's strictly better, but it does give slightly more play, as this creature can just get out of hand so quickly.
Mm-hmm. But what Nathaniel was just mentioning is, first you start off with a Pelt Collector, maybe 2,
mm-hmm.
and you play Vexing Devil. And a lot of times your opponent is just going to go ahead and take the 4. Now, it has a great interaction with Pelt Collector if your opponent decides they want to take the 4, because it'll come in, trigger Pelt Collector, and then it'll sacrifice, and once again trigger Pelt Collector, because it's off of enter the battlefield or dies.
Yes.
Unlike Experiment 1, it only looks at power, but hey, a lot of times, like, if you're playing an aggressive deck, it's going to be like a bunch of creatures with a large amount of power, not so much toughness.
Yes. So, and it also allows for a lot more explosive starts in theory. So it'll be neat to see how that works. And this list is also running 1 Devastating Summons.
It's also running for Experiment 1.
Oh, yes. It has both of them.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of...
Which is worth it.
Yeah, you're kind of guaranteeing your ability to have your Snowball 1-drop, and not guaranteeing, you're upping your chances of having your 1-drop that snowballs heavily in your hand, while Nikaido also being a very good 1-drop to have to start the game. Just you're pretty likely to have a 3/3 on turn 2 that is attacking in this version of the deck.
Now I notice it's not running Nornum Renegade. I'm guessing that Pelt Collector pretty much took that spot.
Yeah.
And that allows it to not go as heavy with fetch lands, but it's still running 11 fetch lands.
Yeah. Now, the Nornum Renegade was useful in some situations where you were able to trade off with a bigger creature from the opponent's side, but I think that it's worth it to lose that little bit of an ability to have profitable trades to have a more aggressive 1-drop in your Zoo list. And he's an appropriate fit for the deck, seeing as he's not an animal of any type, but he is a Pelt Collector, so he's questionable whether he should be in a zoo or not, but, you know, he's there, collecting them pelts in the zoo from animals.
Yep.
All right, well, that was it for the night.
The last trick that this deck has is the Burning Tree Emissary into Reckless Bushwhacker, which just turn 2, you go ahead and play 1 to the Bushwhacker, and it allows you to just pump your team, give them haste, swing in for a lot of damage on turn 2.
Yes. No, that's an older trick in the format, but it's still very potent. So with that, I think that we can go and swap on over and see how that goes.
You guys can start.
And one thing of note here is if you are looking at it on the your computer or your laptop or whatever, you will notice that with the extension we have on there, Jake's name is not Jake. It is Andrew. Previously, we were going to have someone else in his spot, but they were unable to make it due to personal reasons last minute. So he took the spot of it, and we weren't able to update that in time. So it says Andrew, but it's the same deck list.
All right. Justin's going to start off with a Goblin Guide, revealing a Copperline Gorge on Jake's side.
Yep. And
Zoo deck doesn't mind getting rid of some of those land draws.
Yep, and it looks like with how we're going to start, we're just going to have kind of a go fast match. Though there is a very realistic possibility that we get into a weird state of both of them just kind of staring down each other with some amount of aggressive creatures in play.
This match is very much utilizing any type of burn spells to get creatures out of the way and maximize the damage that your creatures are doing.
Yeah, and there's also some amount of micromanagement that has to be done to keep track of the amount of damage you're taking off your fetches and your shock lands. Because you obviously don't want to take too much damage when you're playing against Burn or when you're playing against Zoo, but at the same time, you do have to consider how your mana base is working out for you.
One thing I noticed with the Zoo deck is it doesn't run any creatures in the sideboard to gain you life, like Kitchen Finks. Instead, it has the Burton Forge Tender to try to just minimize some red damage.
Yeah, and it looks like that's your only real way of gaining life on the sideboard here. So I do have to wonder...
It's not even gaining life, it's just preventing damage.
It is just preventing damage. I was thinking of a different card.
Yeah, Goblin Guide's coming back in. I assume Jake will not trade here.
I would assume not. It doesn't seem like something he might be interested in.
Especially after revealing Burning Tree Emissary.
Yeah, if he has another land in hand, and he does.
And he has a Bushwhacker.
So, in theory, he can get in there for 3, 7, 9. He can get in there for like 9 or 10 damage next turn, I think. Be 2, 6.
9.
9, yep, 9.
Because it doesn't pump itself.
Yeah. Alright, so suspending Rift Bolt here.
And Justin was a Swiss Spear he's leaving back. That might be on blocking duty.
It sure might. If Jake goes full in on the Burning Tree Bushwhacker plan this turn, I imagine that Justin might end up having to block.
I do not like the Copperline Gorge here. I would have much preferred... Oh, we got a double Burning Tree Emissary, which is great. But I would have much preferred him fetching for a mountain.
Yeah.
So that the Nacatl can't die to a 2-drop.
Yeah, that is unfortunate here. But
and also losing a point of damage here, which could matter.
You are losing 1 point of damage, which could end up stacking up at the end of the game. Now, the Wild Nacatl would have died the same regardless, but Justin could theoretically be at 9 instead of 10.
Next turn, Jake's going to be able to play his fetch, crack, get a Lightning Bolt, and then play the Bushwhacker to go in for 5 more damage, plus the 3 to the face, putting Justin down to 2 if he decides to go with that line.
Yeah, there's also a possibility we just see the Lightning Bolt go with the Goblin Guide if he's a little bit worried about losing the race here. Jake's thinking,
I definitely think the Lightning Bolt to the Goblin Guide is correct here, since Jake is only at 8, and he is going to need to fetch.
Yeah, he can't play that risky here. And he keeps touching his deck. All right, so I think we're going to see him get a mountain here. Bolt, looks like he's bolting Justin and then swinging in with all of his creatures.
I think Justin ended up taking 1 more point
than he was supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is the case as well, but looks like it didn't matter there. Justin ended up pulling that out with 2 burn spells to the face to clear out that game.
Okay. I'm also going to just make sure that they know for the Bushwhacker that it's other creatures.
Okay.
If you want to start going over the sideboard.
All right. So have Zoo pulled up here. Now, we had briefly mentioned in passing that the only real card it looks like he has for Burn specifically is one Burrington Fortuner. Card is pretty decent in this matchup. Other cards of note in this matchup would be Grim Lavamancer is a good way of just kind of stemming the bleeding you might receive from the random Goblin Guides, Eidolon of the Great Revels, and whatever creatures you might be seeing from the Burn side. Anything you think is worth noting aside from Lavamancer and Burrington Fortuner in the sideboard here?
No, that's about it. Like the Fork Bolt basically only kills one creature on Justin's side. A lot of times it won't even hit the Swift Sphere.
Yeah.
And there's not really any strange permanence for Jake to have to deal with on Justin's side. Like, it's burn, it's creatures.
Mm-hmm.
So you want life gain and you want to just keep those creatures in check, or just try to kill Justin first.
Yeah, and I don't quite think this is the matchup you want to be bringing your Path to Exiles, as you don't want to, like, give him that land drop in. You don't need to go that heavy in on being the removal deck. So, cards could possibly cut from the main board. Your Savage Summons seem like not necessarily what you're looking for in this matchup. Could be wrong here.
I still like it paired with the Bushwhacker.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
And it can definitely win the race if you're able to pair those two.
Okay, what card do you not like in that case then?
I'm trying to think. The slowest card here. I want to say it's either the Goblin Guide or the Experiment one.
Okay. I think that seems reasonable.
I could see cutting one of those for the Forged Tender.
Mm-hmm.
Like Atarka's Command is another Anthem effect that's also going to deal damage. The Emissaries, you need those Emissaries to be able to reliably trigger the Bushwhacker.
Yes.
And everything else, like, it's a one-drop that really sizes up to what you need.
Yeah. All right. Think that's about it there, so go and swap on over to the Burn side here. See if they have anything that really seems worth bringing in. I think the first thing I noticed that seems to stand out the most to me is the Deflecting Palms feel pretty strong here.
Now, Deflecting Palm only does it of one source, correct?
Yes.
But it helps you win the damage race.
It does help you win the damage race. It's essentially another Lightning Helix, and it can theoretically be World Leader's Helix, or even it can prevent 3 damage and then deal 3 damage, essentially, is what I'm saying.
I also like the Searing Bloods, because it does hit a majority of Jake's creatures.
Searing Blood, yes, is also a very strong option here. And possibly stronger than Deflecting Palms. I just have a soft spot for that card.
How do you feel about Eidolons in this matchup?
It's interesting. So it's definitely a double-edged sword in this matchup. If you get ahead, you have more direct burn than they do, and if they have to start playing things into it, it allows you to win quickly. But if you get put behind and you have an Eidolon in play, the opponent's fine with you having it. You're going to kill yourself and allow them to kind of win the game off of that.
Do you like it on the play here?
On the play, I like it more than on the draw.
Okay. I could definitely see cutting Risk Factor, because that 3 mana might just be too late.
Yeah, I think the risk factor feels pretty weak here. And beyond that, Lava Spikes are kind of weak in that they are the only burn spells that can't target a creature from the opponent's side. Well, that and Boros Charm, but Boros Charm gets a pass here.
I could see cutting the 3 Risk Factors and 2 Lava Spike to be able to bring in the Palms and the Bloods.
I'm fine with that. So, anything else?
Nope, that's about it.
Alrighty then.
Fairly straightforward.
Fairly straightforward here, and
You guys can start.
Looks like we're going to have Jake on the play here, so hopefully he's able to get some amount of aggression down. And he's able to get down the new card in his deck in the form of Pellet Collector here. See if that's able to snowball and win him this game.
Alright, so Justin just starts with a Lava Spike. Now the good news is both Searing Blaze, Searing Blood will be able to deal with Pellet Collector on Justin's next turn.
Yes, that is very good news for him. And it looks like Jake here kept a 1-lander and is only able to follow up his turn 1 Pellet Collector with a turn 2 Pellet Collector. And one thing I can note from looking at his hand is that he drew that Pellet Collector off the top, which means there's nothing better in his opening hand than that.
Now he does have the Vexing Devil, and Justin's going to have to make a decision.
Yeah. hopefully from Justin's side, he does have something to answer one of these Pelt Collectors. But if he doesn't, he's going to be in for a rough time.
All right. Both of them are going to trigger, put counters on it. And Pelt Collectors are going to get second counter. So I think we're going to see a Searing Blaze here.
That would be the best option here for Justin, and it looks like we do have a Searing Blaze. So this puts Jake down to 14 and Justin down to 11. Oh, wait, no, that's just for the fetch, so then he's going to be taking an additional 3.
All right. And Jake still hasn't found a second land drop.
He has not, and he currently only has a 3-3 in play.
Okay.
So he's certainly not
Do you
locked for
want
winning
to update the game totals real quick?
Shoot. Yeah.
We have a lot of switches and knobs here, so we do apologize if we're a little late updating a few of those.
Yeah. That is updated now.
Oh yeah, I have a mouse over here too. I can take over when you're slacking.
Do I have to hit save? Yeah. Oh. You may have hit it. I didn't know. I may have not hit save, which means we may not have even had Andrew's deck list up there.
Yeah. We're learning. We'll get there.
One of these days. All right, so
and Jake found a second land.
Did find a second land. Now Justin's down to 7 life, which means we're going to start seeing that one thing we were talking about come into play, where the Eidolon is going to start to become kind of a double-edged sword here.
Mm-hmm. Like, it does not block well against this Pelt Collector.
It does not block well, and every spell he casts is going to start putting himself down to lower life total against a deck that has burn spells of its own.
All right, he's going to get in for 2. And Jake has some decisions, because he's got a Tarkus command that he's probably going to be firing off at the end of turn.
All right.
All right. Okay. Well.
All right. Well. Okay. Then that was a game. All right. So.
Yeah, that's one of those interesting spots that this matchup ends up in, where it's like, can you edge me out? And like you were talking about with the Eidolon, like if you're behind, that card's bad.
Yeah. Also of note is that Justin had put himself in a really bad spot with Eidolon by casting the second one. It was just got me on chump blocking duty, but it kind of just put him at a point where he realistically wasn't getting out of that game, even if Jake didn't have the burn spell.
So are there any cards that you're excited about from the new set that we aren't able to showcase today, but we're excited about for Modern?
For Modern specifically? There's none that I'm personally excited about. I do think that one card we aren't able to showcase tonight that seems like it's going to have a pretty big impact is Sinister Chill. I believe it's the name of the card. The card that deals 3 damage.
Creeping Chill, I thought?
Creeping Chill, yes. Creeping Chill feels like a very strong card in Dread specifically.
And this is the card that it's a 4-mana sorcery for 3 and a black. And each opponent loses 3 life, you gain 3 life. But if it was put into your graveyard directly from your library, you may exile it and do the effect for free.
Yeah. That card feels very strong. I'm actually the opposite of excited for it because I don't want to play against it. And I think that Assassin's Trophy is going to give some interesting play to Jund-style decks, and I think it'll make the control matchup a little bit more interesting than it previously was. But unfortunately, you know what I play in Modern. I don't really get too much out of this new set.
Next week, I might play a little bit of Spice. We were talking about in our group chat earlier. That included Runaway Steamkin.
Oh, yeah, that card's real neat.
That was a card that I was not excited for, not impressed by when I first saw it. But boy, once I got to play that card, it changed my mind.
Oh, that card's nuts. It just allows you to do so much, and it's also just like a big creature. So it kind of does everything.
And that mana is relevant off of it.
Yeah.
All right. So Jake starts off with a Kird Ape, which is probably going to be a 2/3.
Yep.
And Justin puts out a Swift Spear, which is not going to be doing much attacking.
Yeah. Also, I'm not sure if Justin's just like waiting for Jake to finish shuffling, but it appears that he might not have a second land drop.
I believe you are correct.
And if that's the case, him just playing the Swift Spear and passing is going to be real weak.
Yeah, he drew that right on time.
Yeah. All right. So Jake here fetching down to 13.
I guess he's going to try. It doesn't look like he has any like Bushwhacker type plays here.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like he's going to put down a Vexing Devil and have Justin make a decision.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like it's essentially just going to be 1 mana deal 4 damage at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's any case for Justin to allow it to stay around.
Yeah, but Jake's already down to 13 just between the Lava Spike and fetching.
Yeah, and that is something he does have to keep in mind here.
I think Justin is best just taking the 4 here.
Yeah, I don't think that you can or not. So I think Justin's planning on trying to just kill the Vexing Devil and preserve his life total.
That is not what the deck wants to do, though.
And it looks like he also had no way of killing it here, so I'm not entirely for certain why you would allow him to keep that 4/3.
Mm-hmm. Like, if that thing gets in once, you're better off just taking the life.
Yeah, if you're not able to kill it on your next turn, then it did nothing to let him keep it, because you're just taking the 4 damage the same.
Alright, so Atarka's Command, 3 damage, and pump the team.
Yep, so that's essentially 5 damage for 2 mana, with 2 creatures in play.
Mm-hmm. Justin is down to 7. This is not looking great.
Oh, he top decked a land, so he might be able to Lightning Helix, Searing Blaze, or Searing Blood. Well, Searing Blood only does 2 damage, correct?
Yeah, Searing Blood only does 2 damage, so these are the exact creatures he didn't want to see with Searing Blood.
Yep, so he can Lightning Helix or Searing Blaze either of these creatures, but aside from
I think he needs the Lightning Helix here. Does he have it in hand?
I do not know. I'm just throwing out cards he could have.
But I think he's basically dead to what's left in Jake's hand if he doesn't.
Yeah. I think I'm seeing a Lightning Helix, but it's kind of hard to tell with the way that Justin's been holding his hand.
And Jake has an Atarka's Command in hand, and if he also has a Bolt, yeah, he's going to be able to just respond right here.
Alright, so he's
that's going to put these creatures out of range.
Now, that was a really good play from Jake's side. Doing it before the fetch line resolves means if Justin has a Lightning Helix or a Searing Blaze, it does not kill either of his creatures. And it almost guarantees a lethal here.
So yeah, Helix is Justin's only way out here, and it feels really bad.
Well, it's no longer even his way out.
He's going to...
He gains 3, but then he takes 8 damage.
Oh, because they both have the +1/+1.
Yeah, that's why I said it was a really good play from Jake's side there.
Okay.
So
neat.
Looks like that was a relatively quick 2-1 from Jake's side here, and we're just kind of going through Modern at a blistering pace here. Next one.
We're going to be slowing things down a little bit as we go into Green-Black Rock.
Yep. And give me 1 second, and I'll get that pulled up. Yeah, I'll just do this.
The fact that there are 2 mice here, I wish there was also 2 cursors, so we both could go ahead and alter things.
Yeah, that would be neat if we could multitask that, but...
Do you want to also get the Cardboard Live
Yeah, I'm going to get everything there if you want to start talking about your thing.
So, we're on Green-Black Froggle Rock. Any of our frequent viewers that have watched Connor play Modern, he is a huge fan of Gitrog Monster. After getting some feedback with his prior builds, he went ahead and updated this deck a bit more. It does have his all-star Gitrog Monster, but this deck functions a lot like your typical green-black rock decks, but also utilizes stuff like Life from the Loam, Courser Crewfix, and Ramunap Excavator to kind of maximize lands, try to Ghost Quarter out the opponent.
Yes.
And this is one of the few decks that Ghost Quarter is definitely better for a longer game deck than
Field of Ruin.
Field of Ruin is.
Because you're trying to actively play the mana denial plan,
Mm-hmm.
and while Field of Ruin a majority of the time is better because it doesn't put you down lands, if you are the one trying to put your opponent down on lands, you care less about that. And you care more about just making sure that they are getting rid of a land, and if you're able to start looping it through your Lifelink Loam or any other the cards in your deck that allow you to do that, then you can slowly get to the point where once they have no basics in deck, which it's not uncommon for modern decks have 4 or less basics, you can start strip mining them repeatedly, which feels very strong.
And Connor's doing a split 2 Abrupt Decay, 2 Assassin's Trophy in the main, and then 1 of each in the sideboard.
Yes, it's interesting. I think it might just be a case of him kind of not for sure exactly how much he wants Assassin Trophy in this deck.
The big thing with this deck is it wants a lot of early removal.
Yes.
Because one of its weaknesses in the past is not being able to interact early in the game.
Yes. And you don't exactly want to ramp your opponent too much in early turns, so it might even be correct to just only have the 2 Assassin Trophy and 2 Abrupt Decay. Even though it may feel kind of weird to have 2 2-drop removal spells that are very similar in a way. But I don't know. I am interested to see if how this deck operates tonight. I know he's been playing around with it a lot and has had some mixed results with it in the past.
The curve looks a lot better on this, being able to start off with the Fatal Push, Inquisition, and Thoughtseize.
Yes.
And then having the removal we just talked about, Scavenging Ooze, and Collective Brutality on turn 2 into his 3 drops. Now, he does have a ton of 3 drops between Courser, Tireless Tracker, Liliana, other Liliana, and Raminaps.
Also 1 Eternal Witness.
And 1 Eternal Witness. And a lot of times Scavenging Ooze is a 3-drop.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of the 6 Lilianas here. It may be a bit aggressive to have that many Lilianas in your deck, but in general, I think all of them are really strong on turn 3. Well, both of these Lilianas are really strong on turn 3. And a lot of times, one of the better things you can be doing on turn 3. Gitrog being the standout card, though, in this deck. It's just 5 mana 6/6, and it can gain you a lot of card advantage if a game goes long.
Yeah. By the time you get to Gitrog, like if the game goes that long, Connor is in very good shape.
Yes.
Because that means he can start ghost quartering out the opponent, drawing a bunch of cards, and they can't really keep up by that point.
Yeah. Aside from that, I think we've hit all the bases with this deck.
I think we hit everything but the mana base.
Yeah, I mean, mana base, it's an Abzan, it's a green-black mana base with 2 Horizon Canopies as just kind of card draw.
Yeah. The Dryad Arbor seems a little sketch. That's the only one I'm not sure about. Like, he can use it as a chump blocker alongside Life from the Loam.
But at the same time, it could kind of be one of those awkward things where it messes with the curve a little bit.
Not having Green Sun Zenith in this format makes Dryad Arbor a lot worse.
That is very much true. We'll not argue with that. So now we're just going to go and see how this deck actually works in play.
All right. You guys can start. I think if Jake is on the play, it'll still be kind of difficult for Connor to keep up.
Yeah, Connor does have a lot of early game removal spells, but if Jake is able to kind of just do more than Connor's able to handle, it's very feasible that he just kind of gets aggroed out before he can start taking control of the game.
Yeah, one of the big differences between Connor's deck and Jund is not having that Tarmogoyf on turn 2. That's usually a card to stonewall these Zoo-style decks, and he doesn't have that. Like, Scavenging Ooze is not what he wants on turn 2 against the Zoo deck.
Yeah. Also, in just comparing directly between the 2 Green-Black X mid-range decks we have here tonight, Connor only has 2 1-drop removal spells in the form of Fatal Push, whereas Jund has a lot of times 5 in between Lightning Bolts and Fatal Pushes.
I remember when Fatal Push came out, everybody was like, oh, hey, don't even need bolts anymore. And Jund's like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
why not both?
As it turns out, they work well together, and Lightning Bolt still has a lot of playability because dealing damage to planeswalkers and creatures, in players, is pretty strong.
All right. Connor's going to pseudo Thoughtseize himself to Inquisition.
All right, and he's going to see Vexing Devil, Wild Nacatl, Burning Tree Emissary, Atarka's Command, and a Bushwhacker.
Looks like another one lander that Jake is keeping.
I mean, I think that this one's slightly more reasonable than the one we saw previously. If he draws another land, this hand is actually absurd. And if he doesn't, he still at least has the Vexing Devil and Wild Nikado follow-ups.
Depending on what's in Connor's hand, I kind of like taking the Burning Tree here.
Yes.
Because that's what enables Jake to be able to play the Bushwhacker if he draws another land.
I'm a fan of taking either the Burning Tree or the Wild Nikado.
Yes. Wild Nikado is definitely my second pick here. Because in the case that Jake does not draw another land, it's going to be Wild Nikado into Vexing Devil.
Yeah. And Vexing Devil, you're just going to have to accept that that's 4 damage to your face. You can't take that. Atarka's Command, it's going to be a problem in the future, but you can't worry about it right now. Same with Bushwhacker.
Okay. And Connor does decide to go with the Burning Tree.
And let's see what Jake ends up drawing here. It looks like he draws a Goblin Guide. And, yep. He's going to go and play that. That allows him to be a little bit more aggressive than the Wild Nikado here. It does theoretically give the opponent some card advantage, but if you're just trying to end the game quickly, you don't care that much.
So playing your haste creatures versus non-haste creatures first is a very interesting decision in the Zoo-style decks.
Yes.
A lot of times you want to play the creatures without haste first, because that's going to net you more damage.
Yes, because now if, let's just say Jake didn't draw a land, he plays the Wild Nikado, it will not be doing anything this turn.
That's correct. And this is also a situation where he has a Nikado. He's going to get that 2 damage he got the turn before from his next turn. So you're basically breaking even then.
Yes.
But the more iterations you do, the more damage you're getting in the long run.
Yeah. Now, in this case, Jake is able to still get off a decent amount of damage, and he also is able to force Connor into blocking with his Scavenging Ooze, which does leave Connor with nothing on board and at 4 life.
I think he's going to have to Maelstrom Pulse here.
Yeah, he's going to have to Maelstrom Pulse the 1-drop, and that feels really bad from Connor's side because it's pretty mana efficient to do that. Inefficient.
Assassin's Trophy would be worse right now, though.
Yeah, you definitely don't want an Assassin Trophy here if your opponent's stuck on 1 land.
Yeah, and there's definitely one in his hand, too.
Looks like Jake here drew a pretty good card in the form of another Burning Tree Emissary.
Now he just needs to hit that land, and he pretty much has this.
Yeah. Unless Jake bricks off on lands for the rest of the game, I think that he's going to have to get this in one of the coming turns.
Okay. And I don't agree with this play. I think Connor would have been better with the Courser.
I have
trying
to
hit a land and gain a life.
I think that that's better at this point as well.
Though he's getting pretty lucky here.
He is getting extremely lucky, and he does not even know how much he is getting lucky at the current moment.
All right. And yeah, I think the Dryad Arbor is correct here. Just give him another blocker.
Yep.
And then ticking up on the Liliana.
All right, and it looks like I can't tell what he discarded there.
Thoughtseize versus.
Yeah, from the other side.
I think it's Devastating Summons.
Okay.
That's really bad right now. Sack your only land, get 2 1/1s.
It's pretty awful. Other things that are awful, the fact that Jake still cannot find a land here.
All right, so we're going to see Ramanap to get back that Dryad Arbor. You know, I was talking trash about that Dryad Arbor, but it's his saving grace right now.
I think that the Dryad Arbor might carry him through the game, and I think that's appropriate. All right, so now Connor's at 6 life. Jake just found his second land here, but even if he plays the Burning Tree Emissary into the Bushwhacker, it's not going to be quite enough here.
Do you think it was correct for him to tick down Liliana or pull another card out of Jake's hand?
That's interesting. So if he's down ticking here, it's playing around the Burning Tree plus Bushwhacker.
But that only puts Experiment 1 up to 2.
Yeah, it's not that strong of a play. And I don't know. I think this Liliana might be worth enough to keep her around. Like, I don't think that there was any way he was getting threatened for lethal by not upticking it. I mean, by not minusing it.
All right. We got Burning Tree into Bushwhacker.
And we're just going to get in here.
And Connor does have a few favorable blocks here.
Yeah, he's going to kill the Burning Tree. He's going to kill the Bushwhacker. And he's going to chop block the Vexing Devil. And the only thing he's going to lose is the Dryad Arbor, but he can just get the Dryad Arbor back with the Ramen Excavator.
Yeah.
Excavator doesn't die.
Excavator doesn't die. Bushwhacker doesn't pump itself.
Oh boy. Yep. Okay. So anyway,
tisk, Jake. We just told you the prior round.
The best part is Connor went to correct you, and Jake was like, "It doesn't pump from the other creatures." He just kind of rolled.
But I'm gonna let it go anyways. See how it is.
Jake just trying to scum it up in the Get There lounge.
Not playing for anything here.
All right, he's going to mill 2 and return one of the random creatures in his graveyard here.
Going to get a Scavenging Ooze so he can gain some life.
Yep. And I think that this game has pretty much completely slipped out of Jake's grasps.
Yeah. It was just too late. Oh, there's no land. He needed one of those, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he had so many turns to draw that land, and then he just didn't do it, and now he's going to lose the game because of it.
Boop.
All right, well, and honestly, at this point, is attacking even good from Jake's side? I don't think it is.
I'm going to tick up. Going to be Tiny Devil. I don't even think he needs the Dryad Arbor at this point.
No, he probably doesn't. And it looks like he agrees.
Gain a life. Keep that Collect Brutality on top.
Yeah, man, this game's going dandy
Eat
for
some
Connor.
things, you know. Get aggressive.
Is Jake just fetch shocking? Okay, no. Sultai Sith Lord. Ooh, that's a sweet username. Thanks for getting there. It's great to have another person following the stream.
Yes, thank you very much for the follow. All right, so I'm going to say this game is about done.
Yeah, huh?
Connor would really need to mess up probably 5 turns in a row to lose this one.
Yeah.
It was unfortunate for Jake. He didn't see his other land. I understand with being a little greedy with this that deck, because he had a very explosive hand if he just saw that other land. But
yes.
I think we're about done here.
I think that in order for Connor to lose here, he would have to click through combat multiple times on Jake's turn and just forget to block. Like misclick in real life, accidentally slap yourself in the face.
He spills something on his F6 key and is just stuck now. So for anybody just joining us, and if you are on your desktop or laptop, you might notice something cool hovering right in front of the players. That little hover over is from the Cardboard Live extension, in which you can view their deck lists right now. Just do it. Just click on it.
Yep.
Check it out. Look at that deck list. Hover over some cards. Don't know what that is? Now you do.
Bam, you know what it is? Bam, you know even more now.
Yep. When your friend says, hey, what does that card do? You'd be like, it does this. Check it out.
And then you realize,
so smart.
Then you realize you're in your room by yourself, and you're just kind of like, what am I doing with my life?
Who said that? My place is haunted.
At that point, if we can't help you there, you might want to get an exorcist.
You will notice that Jake's deck list does say Andrew. Andrew had to cancel last minute, and Jake was happy to fill in. But we weren't able to update that as last minute. Yeah,
unfortunately, it just came in a little bit too late. And though it may seem like a simple thing, there were just a couple things that made it so we could not do that. I never updated. Oh, wait, no. That was just game 1. Wow, that game was so long.
I'm curious what podcast.
His radio voice.
I've heard that a lot. Like I don't know how to define a radio voice, but
you kind of.
I've been given that compliment multiple times.
Yeah, I guess that is a compliment.
I hope it's a compliment. I take it as a compliment.
I mean, yeah, it's
going to be a compliment, okay?
You have a soothing voice, Kirby. All right, so we're gonna go and pull up the sideboard here. Bam! Look, it's that card again. So, 3 Kitchen Finks in the sideboard, a Fatal Push in the sideboard, Damnation possibly in the sideboard. Who?
Yeah, I don't think I have a radio voice. I really hope not.
All right, I want to just clarify something. I've been told I have a radio face, and I'm a little hurt if that's an insult. I'm gonna have to talk to some people. So, no, you just be bringing in your Kitchen Finks, your Abrupt Decays, whatever removal spells.
I'm trying to figure out what seems a little weak here. Like the Assassin's Trophy would have been really bad in that matchup because Jake was stuck on land.
Yeah,
but I think in a lot of matchups, like if you're playing that on turn 3, it's not a big deal because the Zoo deck can't really utilize extra lands like that.
Yeah. Now, I don't exactly know how this deck operates, so I might be completely off base here. But it seems almost to me like the Life of the Loam and the Eternal Witness might be a little too dirtly in this matchup.
And I know he probably won't want to cut the Gitrog monster, but I also think that is. I like taking out the Thoughtseize, putting in the Fatal Push, and probably another Abrupt Decay.
Oh, for some reason I did not think he was running the Thoughtseize. No, yeah, taking the Thoughtseize out is correct here.
I could also see Engineered Explosives.
Yeah, there are a lot of 1-drops on the opponent's side.
He's got Damnation. Man.
He's got a lot of stuff for creature matchups.
Okay, so we're going to take out the fun stuff, and we're just going to be green-black rock for the sideboard.
Oh, yeah.
And Jake's not going to be able to do anything.
Yeah, no, you're going to be just mid-range him out here. Now, let's not completely rule Jake out. Let's see what he's going to be bringing to the table here. All right, so from Jake's side, is there anything that stands out to you that you might be bringing in? I don't see.
The Remorseful Cleric has Evasion.
Is that what we're going for at this point? Okay.
The Path to Exiles are probably good.
Okay.
It deals with stuff like Courser, which he can't get through very easily.
Yes.
I like the path over the Destructive Revelry because Connor doesn't really have another target for Jake for Destructive Revelry.
Yeah, Path to Exile allows... There are enough creatures in the opponent's side that you wouldn't mind getting rid of. So having the path seems reasonable.
Honestly, that's about it.
Any thought of the Grim Lavamancer, or is that just not enough here?
Connor has so few X2s.
That is fair. I always think he had more than...
no. Like, doesn't deal with Courser, doesn't deal with Excavator.
Deals with Tireless Tracker the turn it comes in play. Same thing with Scavenging Ooze.
So if he's playing it correctly, he shouldn't be able to hit it.
No, that's a dumb suggestion. So it looks like we're just looking at paths here.
Yep.
So
and Jake's just got to be fast on the play.
Yep, and he's just got to...
Not miss his land drop.
Not missing his land drop's pretty good strategy there. He should probably consider that.
Not missing his 2 land drops. That's all you need.
2 land drops that could win the game.
Yep.
So I think that nothing else really to talk about here, so I'm going to transition over here.
You guys can start.
All right, so I'm scared because Connor said I shouldn't. And he's probably going to do it.
He didn't side out any of the Loams or the Gitrogs or... He's making a statement.
I would be disappointed, but not surprised.
All right, so we're going to start off with Inquisition, but Connor's down to 17, so we'll see what he's going to grab. One of the 1-drops. Jake doesn't even need that second land.
All right. So, Wild Nacatl, the obvious best card in the hand here. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jake here is going to be locked into playing 2 creatures next turn. Probably Goblin Guide plus Kurt Apier. Just because Vexing Devil is kind of weird on the one we had talked about earlier, where it doesn't, like, it's going to be 4 damage regardless a lot of times.
Yeah, I agree that Kird Ape plus Goblin Guide is going to be the best move for him on the next turn.
Yeah.
Yep. Took the Wildwood Nacatl.
And...
Ooh. Alright, so we have a Burning Tree.
Now, unfortunately, Burning Tree is kind of awkward with his hand, because he can't play two 1-drops in addition to the Burning Tree, because the Wild Nacatl is no longer in his hand.
Okay. But he decides to go with the Vexing Devil, which does seem incorrect here.
Yeah, I'm not sold on that. The Kird Ape, it kind of sticks around and deals more damage in the long run.
I would have preferred either Goblin Guide Kird Ape or Burning Tree Kird Ape.
I think either of those plays is completely fine. I kind of like holding on to the Burning Tree. There's a very greedy line for wanting to do that.
Now, well, I wouldn't even call it greedy. Like, having that in your hand in case you draw the Bushwhacker is a very favorable play.
Yeah. Also, it looks like he was he was awarded very well for doing that, because now he can go Burning Tree, Kird Ape, and well, he could have done either way and Wild Nacatl.
Yeah, and Connor's probably not going to have enough removal to deal with all of them.
Yeah.
Being able to just swarm the board is one thing Connor doesn't have many answers to unless he hits his Damnation, but he's not even going to be on his 4th land drop in time.
Yeah, I think if he's able to kill a creature next turn, he can survive to cast the Damnation, but he'll be at 2 life. So he's in a really bad spot.
No, there's going to be 9 power between 4 creatures.
Oh, I forgot that he was gaining 1. Yeah,
he would have to deal with 2 of them.
Yeah, I wasn't counting the Burning Tree Emissary. Yeah, that's
all right.
That's really good.
He has to deal with 2 of them.
Yeah, and I don't know how he's going to do that. Especially considering there are no duplicates in play, which means a Maelstrom Pulse can only answer one thing.
Correct. All right. Connor's going to do a little math and
Let's
scoop
see.
phase.
I'm at 6 life. Looks at opponent's board. 2,
Well, he's
4.
He's not giving up yet.
I don't know what he thinks he's going to do.
Did he math wrong?
He may have math wrong.
Oh, okay. So that will save him 1 more turn.
Yep,
He's going to be going down to 1. Unless Jake just top decks something.
Jake has a lot of live top decks here.
So.
Yep. Just plays the Bushwhacker as a 2-1
haste.
Yep. Alrighty then. That was a pretty quick second game here, and now we're going to be going on to the third game. This time for Connor. Luckily for Connor, he will be on the play.
All right. Going back to Guilds of Ravnica, we played a couple weeks of Standard. Were there any standouts since we saw this past week's Open, and any online results that really stuck out? Any archetypes, any cards?
So I haven't been able to look at a ton of the results. I had a very busy weekend, and then yesterday I just was recuperating from the weekend. I did see that there was apparently a blue-red prison deck that did well at the Classic of the weekend that's running a bunch of like neat things. I also saw
such as?
I don't know. Neat things.
You can't say neat things and then not give a preview.
Okay, it's running Ensnaring Bridges.
Modern.
Yes, Modern.
Okay.
In Standard.
I thought we were talking Standard. Like, how do you build that in Standard?
Don't worry about how you build it. You just bring in your Ensnaring Bridges that aren't Standard legal. All right. In Standard, the Boros Angels deck that did well over the weekend was neat. It's running like, 10 or 11 Angels and like a bunch of Boros aggro cards.
Yeah.
That deck seems pretty
Phoenix.
hot. Yeah, and Phoenix.
Honorary Angel.
I saw an Esper deck floating around a little bit that I'd be interested in trying out. I always have kind of a bias towards the blue-based control decks, obviously. So always interested to see what the best version of that is for the current format.
We saw a few 5-mana demons. Being able to pay 2 life and Surveil 2 is really strong.
It's really okay. The card is well statted for its mana cost, though, and it is it is a card that is neat to see and play. It's starting to feel like a Ravnica tradition since Return to Ravnica and Desecration Demon.
Mm-hmm. Plus, we're in a format in Standard right now that allows for kind of like the old Baneslayer, like, you have to deal with this threat.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't do anything when it comes in necessarily, but deal with this threat or you're going to be taking a lot.
Now,
we also have Honorary Baneslayer in the format in Lyra.
I do enjoy that the drawback, the thing you lose off of the new Baneslayer actually is relevant against the demon, because you can no longer just safely block it like you could if Baneslayer was standard legal.
Also, funny enough with Lyra, its ability really matters in that Boros Angels deck.
Yes.
We saw, what's the 4-mana one that gives you and your creatures hexproof?
Shalai.
Shalai. And Shalai gaining +1/+1 and lifelink, mattering in a few of that player's matchups.
Yeah, no. Having that many Angels plus Lyra is just so strong, because Lyra by herself is already a pretty strong card, honestly.
Yeah. Now it's 5 toughness, and it's going to gain some life.
Yeah, also the red 4-drop enchantment is kind of nuts.
Yes. Experimental Frenzy.
Yeah, that card's absurd.
Yeah, it's Future Sight in red, and red doesn't play that many lands.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Connor Connor starts off with an Inquisition, taking a Tarkus command from Jake's hand. Jake does not have any 1-drops right now, but he should have an explosive turn 2.
Yes. And if Connor is unable to play another discard spell, he is going to feel that damage a little bit.
It looks like he drew a Vexing Devil.
Yeah.
Which Connor's basically just taking 4.
And Connor's just going to play a Dryad Arbor. Now, this is a situation where that Dryad Arbor is looking not at its strongest.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to see Burning Tree into Bushwhacker to get in for 5.
Yep.
The Dryad Arbor is going to be able to trade with the Bushwhacker, which I don't think Jake minds.
Yeah, so he can do that, but then that means that Connor is being strip mined.
Which Connor got strip mined.
And that means that Connor's going into turn 2 with only 1 land in play.
And I believe, if I saw correctly, Jake has another Bushwhacker and a Devastating Summons. So if he draws another land, he's able to float mana, sack, get 2 3/3s, and then give him +1/+0 and haste.
Okay, I did not see the Devastating Summons in hand. If he has
we'll see.
If he has that, then a land, once again, if Jake draws a land, he will probably win the game.
Okay. I can. He keeps flicking his cards, so we need a. It looks like a Tarkus command, which is still fine. Yep. Still a fine card. And yeah, Jake's just better off waiting right now.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's almost worth considering getting in there for 2 damage this turn, but.
Well, the other note is if Connor had a Kitchen Finks, then Jake would have been able to just Skullcrack right there.
Yeah, that is reasonable. Alright, so Jake gonna fetch on end of turn, and if he doesn't draw into anything of relevance, there's a good chance that he just goes in for the Bushwhacker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if he draws a 1-drop, he's good. If he draws a land, he's also good.
If he draws the Devastating Summons, he wins the game.
Yes, he does. I've also seen some builds of Zoo. It was a little while back, but essentially the same deck. Playing 1 Dryad Arbor just to help get in that extra points, those few extra points of damage, because this deck really doesn't want many lands.
Yeah, you can operate off of 2 or 3 lands max.
All right, so we have a Curd Ape, so I think we're going to see him Curd Ape into Bushwhacker.
Yep, and I'm curious as whether or not he's going to kill off that Liliana. I think that it's worth the loss of 2 damage to kill Liliana. Looks like Connor. It looks like Jake disagrees.
He hasn't a Tarkus command in hand, so he's going to be able to deal that last 3 damage.
Well, if the Liliana upticks.
Oh. Good point. Good point.
Yep.
That might have been a bit of a misplay.
Yeah. So Connor here can play his Liliana the Last Hope, kill off the...
He also has a Courser in hand, which is going to make things a little difficult.
Oh, if he has a Courser, then he just plays the Courser. And I think that he should be able to stabilize with that.
Mm-hmm. He's also debating on ramming up Excavator to get back the Dryad Arbor.
All right, we're going to see this again. And
all right, so what can you draw, Jake?
Any burn spell does it.
I think he's realizing it's not a favorable attack right now, but he doesn't really have many options.
Okay, he's going in for an attack here.
Connor's asking Jake, hey, is that just another Atarka's command? Jake's like, oh, no. It's like, just play it if it is.
All right, I don't like that attack from Jake, but...
No, he would have been better off just staying back. Like, yeah, once again, it is kind of a strip mine on Connor, but losing his own creature also doesn't help here.
Yeah. Now, from Connor's side, he does have a couple options. He can play the Courser, start getting life, or he can play that Engineer Explosives and clear up the board. It looks like he's gone with the Courser.
Yeah, I kind of like the Explosives tick up Liliana, and that way he has an edict for the following turn against Jake.
I think that is a reasonable line of play.
And Jake is once again in a bad spot.
He's going to swing him for 3, and Connor's going to block, and now he has another wild to coddle.
Yeah, not killing that Liliana is going to be the make or break of the game.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Oh, man, that's going to be pretty good.
Jake's thinking. Jake decides not to counter it with his non-existent cards.
Jake harassing his opponent.
He's asking frivolous questions.
He's asking if the Engineer Explosives enters the battlefield and then gains the counter, or enters the battlefield with the counter. Good times all in all. All right, so we're just going to see Jake get really close both games that he lost there and then end up just losing at the end. And now we're going to be seeing Connor again versus Alex on humans.
And I'm going to be switching out for Justin, since I'll be playing in the following round.
Alrighty then. And I'm going to start adjusting things over, and I'm going to go and pull up the humans list. Shouldn't be too surprising what all's going on this list. I'll tell you what's not going on. That Path to Exile. Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, Justin.
Hello.
We did not get to see you cast your risky business.
Yeah, that card's not good in burn, I don't think. At least, if it is, I have to go to like 20 lands or something.
Yeah. So, one sec. I'm just kind of adjusting the last couple of things. Humans. It's a deck, right?
It sure is. It's got a bunch of humans in it.
Yeah.
It's quite amazing, really. How many they can fit in there.
It's just this bad boy can fit so many humans. Jokes aside, kind of like just saying the name of the deck a lot, because like this deck is the deck in Modern right now, in my opinion.
All right, so we're on the Militia Bugler plan.
Yep.
This time, which I like that. I actually think that card's fine.
I think Militia Bugler is pretty strong. I don't. Why does it have Vigilance though? Like,
right?
Why are you vigilant? I guess you can't stop bugling.
You just can't stop. Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop the bugles. So, I don't know. You've played this deck some in Modern, right?
Yeah.
How would you feel if you play against a deck that's running Gitrog Frog in it?
I feel like I'd win that game.
Okay, then.
That's what I feel like.
That's surprising. All right.
I'd feel favored, unsurprisingly. Shoot, I can get my own Gitrog monster with my Phantasmal image. then start cycling my Horizon
Canopies drawn 2 cards? Oh, man. You want to out mid-range the Gitrog deck. Thank you, you dumb idiot. I got my own card advantage engine now.
I'm going to learn you today.
Also, Connor's deck just doesn't have flyers for the Mantis Riders. The card's gonna do some damage.
The card is gonna kill him. Gonna kill him dead.
All right. I don't think we're gonna talk too much about this. So
no, this is pretty stock stuff, but
I'm just going to swap on over there, and you can let them know whenever you want to.
Yeah. Ready when you are.
Save. There's so many things to save. Alrighty then. Don't know who's on play. I don't even know if they've determined that. Nope, they're determining that right now. Bam, look at that. Oh, wow.
Oh, no.
This is why a lot of people like to even odd roll. Oh, my God. Don't you...
Come on.
Okay,
Aww.
11. Thank you.
Actually sad about that.
Actually sad. You want to see it keep going?
Oh, yeah.
We're no longer
it's
a
either
Magic
that or
Stream.
watch another Humans matchup.
That's fair. I mean, to be fair, with how quick tonight's been going, like, we can just roll die for the next hour and still finish on time.
100% true. Go.
Real talk, though, Modern, it's a fast format.
You know, most of the time.
You have, like, 2 decks that make everyone miserable because you have those players just standing in the corner playing the blue-white or the just got controls.
True.
And just no one wants to deal with those people.
Yep.
I say is one of those people, unfortunately.
Yeah, you do.
Making tournaments worse.
Yeah, meanwhile, I just, like, finish my match within, like, 13 minutes. Go wander around, go get food.
Dude, it's great. I forgot that you can eat food during the days during Magic events.
I recommend it.
It's probably why I'm always so lightheaded at the end of events.
It probably. All right, so Alex is on 6, it looks like.
Yeah.
Let's go right to the bottom.
That's fine.
Yeah.
No, Alex can lose this matchup. We were joking a lot about the Gitrog. But if Connor's able to just green-black mid-range him out, he can theoretically win this.
Totally, yeah. I mean, his removal package is, like, pretty good, and, like, Thoughtseize, things like that. They've determined that we did, in fact, say go, okay, well, that's not good.
No, that's not what Alex wants to see. He doesn't want to lose his meddling mage here. Looks like he's going to go ahead and play a plains. Oh, Mania KGIS. Thank you for the follow. Always great to have someone else getting there.
Yes, thank you. What did we get? A Noble Hierarch. It's not bad.
Well, that's just rude.
Nathaniel eats air instead.
I do not eat air, thank you very much.
Ooh.
Ooh.
We have had some good top decks.
That is a good human. Alright, now Connor just needs one removal spell to kind of slow down what Alex is doing, though.
Yes. Yeah, and that Scooz can really do a lot of work in this matchup.
Yeah. Alex is going to have to draw a card on end of turn here with Noble plus Rising Canopy. He didn't have to do that during his turn because there are no humans that are better than the Thali's Lieutenant at that exact point in the game,
Definitely.
honestly. Alex going ahead and, fixing both their life totals.
Yep.
Noble Hierarch died.
Oh, Alex, no.
He floated the mana, okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, feels good.
He established it with words, but then realized he didn't establish it for the stream.
Yeah.
That's one of those weird things with doing it for this is like you're used to like doing a lot of shortcuts, but realize those shortcuts don't translate well if people can't hear. Is that a Mana Strike? No, that's a Reflector Mage.
That's also strong.
That might be better.
Probably, actually. It essentially just time walks Connor here. And
Connor, just
like,
what are you gonna do? That's not enough.
Well,
that's not how it works. Okay, so he can Ghost Quarter himself to go up to 5 life if he wants to.
Yeah, he has to block the...
He has to block the 5/5. And he's dead to another Thali's Lieutenant or a Mantis Rider or a Reflector Mage or a Phantasmal Image.
No, he's dead to another creature. Because the Thali's Lieutenant grows.
He can Ghost Quarter himself.
Yes, and goes to 5.
Yeah, and then he takes...
5.
You got me. I don't know how to do math. I thought that Thali's Lieutenant was a 0/0. All right, so...
sure, that's a bad card then.
It sure is, isn't it? All right, a human sideboard. Let's go.
Auriok Champion?
Auriok Champion, it has protection.
Like, it doesn't die to pretty much his entire deck.
Yeah, it just kind of walks past all the removal spells that can get blocked by Sky Dragoons and stuff. Life gain isn't that relevant. How we feel about Sin Collector or Hostage Taker?
think I like Hostage Taker. Sin Collector, maybe? I don't know.
Like, it feels worth considering in the play. I'm probably not on the draw.
Yeah, I think you're about, yeah.
And nothing else really there. Knight of Autumn, not that great. Whirler Rogue, I don't think this is the matchup for Whirler Rogue.
No, that's more of a Mirror Breaker.
Okay, Mirror Breaker. And Onofenza, not strong enough here, probably.
Yeah, I agree. I was thinking about it, but I agree. I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Knight of Autumn is not a human. Alright, so let's look at the rock side.
Yep.
So...
Well, here we're definitely going to want... you want your Fatal Push,
Abrupt Decay.
Assassin's Trophy is actually fine, too.
Yeah.
Engineered Explosives is real big.
Damnation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, he actually has a lot he can bring in. The problem is, how much of your deck do you take out to do that? And then, like, and still have a game plan left.
So, the plan that is suggested with Kirby with the other match that we watched of his is Connor just takes up the cute part of his deck and becomes green-black mid-range. Cuts out that Get Rod, cuts out that Eternal Witness, cuts down on the Life Loans, you bring in your Damnations, your Fatal Pushes, your Abrupt Decays. Hell, you can even bring in your Kitchen Finks. They're not terrible.
Yeah, and that's probably the way he wants to do it, honestly.
Yeah. You can even trim down some of your hand disruption if you want to. And that's what I personally like. I don't know if that's what he's going to go for, but it feels like you can just play the mid-range game here.
Yeah, definitely. You can outgrind them, and then eventually your top decks are just going to be way better than his top decks.
Yeah. I do think there's a chance that Connor gets game 2. I think that Alex is in large part favored here.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately for the Frog deck of the night, but see how that goes for him. Boop.
You can play.
Also, that was an impressive string of top decks from Alex's side.
That was disgusting.
Oh man, Alex's hand is pretty bad. He only has lands. Whoops. Whoops. Whoops.
Oh no, these cards, they just function together like some sort of tribe of creature that works together. How strange.
How strange that this deck works this way. Alright, Connor's hand. It's bad. He's mulliganing it.
Yep.
Alex's hand. I don't know. It looks foil.
It's got some lands, got some creatures.
Looks like 2 Ancient Ziggurat and some creatures.
Yeah.
See a Reflector Mage. Can't really make much else out there.
It's like a Thalia.
Thalia's not bad. It's a lot better on the play, but it's fine on the draw.
Is that a freebirder?
That's a freebirder, yeah.
Yeah. That's not bad here. That'll play. Especially with Connor on the mulligan. Freebooter does some work.
Yeah. Looks like Connor's hand here.
Wait, did Connor draw 7? He did.
He did. Bam. Okay, well, good. Whatever. We're gonna resolve it that way, sure.
Sure, yeah. Scry that card you already know.
Okay, so obviously that's not how it'll be resolved in Comp REL.
But this
we know.
Is hanging out .exe.
It's
fine.
It's testing.
Yeah.
And
wait.
What are we doing?
Oh, wait. No,
we told them.
We did.
Did you turn on the thing?
You can play.
Did you do the thingy?
How about now? Okay. I think the cord came loose.
Oh. You gotta hate when your cord comes loose.
It's the worst. Need like a little, just like green light. Be like, dude.
All right. So, ooh.
Oh my.
So, I know someone that they were playing humans, and I got to hear them go on like this really long rant at IQ when they had to mulligan to 5 because they drew multiple hands with 1 land, Ancient Ziggurat, and then 1 Aether Vial. And just that's the worst combination of things in this deck.
It is. And that unfortunately is what Alex is looking at right now, because a turn 1 Aether Vial would have been very good.
Oh, with this hand, a turn 1 Aether Vial would have been disgusting.
Yeah.
Instead, Alex's hand is just kind of awkward. He's
No,
getting the freebooter.
Yeah,
Okay.
now he's stuck just playing like 1 creature a turn.
Yeah, and I think that he's going to probably lead on the Thalia here, but yeah, okay.
I guess that's fine because...
It makes it so Connor can't play Liliana this turn.
True.
Unfortunately, that Tireless Tracker is going to be good later on. Alex can attack him for 2 damage if he wants to. But instead he's just going to Reflector Mage it, get him for 2.
Again, I think that's fine.
Yeah, I think that's a good play. Connor, it looks like, has multiple 3-drop spells in his hand as well.
Well, this one at least matches up against Thalia a little better.
Noble Hierarch plus Reflector Mage number 2.
Might as well.
Yeah, man.
Do
Okay, get tempoed out, kiddo.
Yeah.
Next turn he can play both the cards in his hand if he wants to.
Might as well.
Unless he draws something better. If he draws like
True.
a Thalia's Lieutenant here, I think he just...
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Now, Connor can Damnation if he has it.
True.
That would be game winning.
Yeah. I guess the question is this enough to just like win the game in like a couple turns? And that currently kind of looks like it.
Yeah, like Connor can start playing creatures to kind of try to buy some time and get some favorable blocks here, but Alex has the board right now.
Mm-hmm. Pulse. Yep.
Okay.
Pulse is pretty good.
Pulse is actually a lot better than I was thinking about. Swing in there for 3.
Yep.
Okay. And he just deploys everything here.
1.
He has 5 mana.
Yep. Yeah, never mind. Sorry. I didn't see the Noble. Forgot
Yep.
about Noble.
Nope. Aether Vial costing 2 mana here because of his Thalia attacks.
Yep.
Importantly, you can't pay for that with your Ancient Ziggurats. So.
Yeah. Relevant. Yes, it's looking alright.
It's going alright. Connor's hand just looks really awkward. He can't play more than one spell here. It looks like his best play might be the Kitchen Finks he's holding. But
it's that, or he has Last Hope that could take care of Thalia.
So Last Hope takes care of Thalia, and then he just has to worry about the Champion of the Parish and the 1/1 with protection from black.
Yep.
I think that's... Okay, yeah, he can get back land.
This is fine, yeah. Sets him up for doing some more stuff next turn. I think we do a land? Yep.
Alex is going to hold the land. Not valuing bluffing as much as he is just going ahead and having the land in play in case Liliana hits the board.
Mm-hmm.
Because unfortunately in this situation, bluffing doesn't really play a huge role because your opponent's hands are kind of tied.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Alright, so we're just going to see the chump block train start going again.
Yep.
Connor is really good at just chump blocking.
It's true.
Yeah?
Redeploy.
Are you gonna do something else? He's thinking. Dude, he does not know what to do.
We're confused. Okay.
Tyler Shacker, sure.
Now you play your land. Yes.
Alex gaining life here off of his Auriok man.
Auriok man.
Or Auriok woman, sorry.
Yeah.
It's definitely what that is. Looks like Alex is trying to get a clue for Connor as he is currently clueless. And... There might not be any clues. They can use whatever for a clue, honestly. Yeah. Unfortunate. We have a ton of tote. Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, that was...
Ooh. Alright, audio dipped out there.
Yeah, that was... Ooh. Okay, we have a clue.
Alright, and I think that we're starting to see Connor stabilized here.
True.
Is that a Mantis?
Ooh.
That's pretty much the best top deck you could have here.
Yeah.
This puts Connor on a 3-turn clock if it is not removed.
Yep. This will probably win. Well, oh
nope,
wait.
Abrupt Decay.
Got him.
Yep. Okay, well, that was fun when we thought it might end the game.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, it was gonna.
Yeah, no. Connor, if he's willing to shock himself here... Oh, wait, no, he has a fetch line. He can fetch himself down to 4, cast the Liliana, kill the Thalia, and then cast the Abrupt Decay if he wants.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what he's gonna do.
Yeah, that feels correct. Yep.
Thalia's dead. And now we should probably... Alright, so things get really kind of weird now.
Oh, no. Well, no.
Nope, that doesn't work. That doesn't work.
Oh, he goes. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
He has to respond to the activation.
No, we were going to be on it. All right.
Okay.
So, importantly here, multiple reasons why Connor should have reacted to the activation of that Aether Vial.
Yes.
If Alex puts in a Thalia, he can no longer cast the Abrupt Decay. If he puts in a Phantasmal Image, he now has another Mantis Rider.
Mm-hmm.
If he puts in a Meddling Mage, he can turn off the Abrupt Decay.
Yep. There were a few different things, but...
Okay.
To be fair, Alex did kind of rush in the Phantasmal Image, but I believe Connor did just kind of like...
I believe he announced and Connor said okay.
Yeah. I mean, he could have stopped it at any time.
Yeah, like... And Connor, to be fair, did try to specify after enter the battlefield, and that just straight... No.
Well, he was acting as if the Phantasmal Image had a trigger.
Yeah, and...
That's not how it works.
I see a lot of people do that, but how can a 0/0 have a trigger?
Well, it could. It just wouldn't be a very good card.
Enters the battlefield, then
Dies.
becomes a copy. Alright. Luckily that Liliana does... Well, luckily for Connor here, that Liliana Optic will kill it. And he is going to gain 1 life and go up to 2 life. He is dead to another Mantis Rider, though, I think.
Most likely. I don't know what's...
The only way he's not is if he cracks a clue and draws into a Fatal Push.
Well, we already know. Well, you'd have to fetch first, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think Connor can really do a lot here right now.
No, he's not having a good time.
Mm-mm. Yeah, I think he just passed, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big fan of trying to attack into this right now.
Nope, you are trying to turtle up right now. Nope.
Wouldn't recommend.
You're gonna aggressive play there. Alex gonna take it. He's at 23.
Yeah. And
okay, Free Boots is decent. We see
just gets Inquisition, I believe, land, and is that Finks?
Yeah, sounds about right. I guess we're gonna see an attack him with the
No, I don't
with the
think.
man. Because he can attack for 6 damage this turn. And well, it just blocked by the Dryad Arbor.
Yeah, I don't think he attacked. I think he passed turn.
Yeah.
Or he's going. I don't think he's going to attack. I believe he passed turn.
That's unfortunate. Like, I think having just another situation where Connor's just kind of able to kind of board stall with his infinite chump blocker.
Ooh, and Ghost Quarter's gonna get. Oh, there's Abrupt Decay.
Abrupt Decay is pretty decent, and he can draw into that at any point. So now even a Mantis Rider is not good enough.
Now I think we've lost that window.
I think that this game's gone for Alex here. Kitchen Finks gains him 4 life, but puts it even further out. And since Alex isn't playing, since Humans is off of Cacique Malcontents, there's no real way of dealing damage from this point.
Yeah. Ugh.
I mean, Alex gonna stick it out, but...
Well, the only thing that could win him the game here is if he did bring in the Warlord Rogue.
Warlord Rogue would win him the game.
But that's one card out of his whole deck, and 2, I don't know if he brought it in. I know I wouldn't, probably. But in this current situation, it would be pretty good.
Thalia's Lieutenant can do some work here, but I don't think it does enough.
Yeah, well, now with the Abrupt Decay in hand, now it's... I don't even know what you can do.
Yeah, I don't know either. It looks like Alex just picked up another freebooter here. He's just gonna deploy that freebooter. Like, you gotta do what you can. Oh, oh, oop.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do? We gonna abrupt decay? Is that what we're doing, Connor? You thinking?
Yeah.
Okay, he's gonna hit the freebooter.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
That one, so he can't attack. That goes back there.
I imagine he's gonna take the Liliana the Val.
Would feel correct. Yep.
All right. He can swing in for 6 here, but it doesn't matter because the Dryad Arbor is just a chump blocker, and also you have this Kitchen Fink.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Connor's side of the board is so gummed up with stuff now. Oh, and Fatal. Ugh.
Yeah, no, Alex is going to scoop out. No.
Definitely.
I'm honestly surprised to see Alex stick in that long. Normally he's kind of aggressive with his concessions.
It's true.
But no, that was game 2 for Connor here. I do think that Alex's hand kind of just like, it had a good early game, but it kind of fizzled out.
True. Well, and against Connor's style of deck where his creatures generally grow just as Alex's does, but we have a removal package. You want the humans deck to just get in there real quick and win it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was close, but it stalled just that little bit there, like you said.
And when we saw the double Reflector Mage back-to-back, while that play did seem really strong, he didn't really have much to do to take advantage of that.
True.
Like, he was able to deal 2 damage off of it, but it wasn't the strongest.
Well, it definitely feels like that game had he be able to cast. I still can't speak words. Don't worry about it.
Dude, words are hard.
No joke. The Aether Vial. Had he been able to cast that on turn 1, I feel like that game goes a little bit more in Alex's favor.
Oh no, that just
changes up his clock completely, lets him do things way faster.
I think if he had that Aether Vial on turn 1, he probably would have won the game.
Yeah, and that really sucks having the Ziggurat.
No, yeah, like, it's one of those things where you want to play Ziggurat on this deck because you're playing 5 colors, but you also want to play the Aether Vial because turn 1 Aether Vial is disgusting in this deck.
That's true.
So you occasionally are just going to have times where you're just having a hand where you've essentially mulliganed away a card.
All right, now with Alex on the play, I do agree that it really feels like he is extremely favored now.
Yeah, if he's able to get off any good, any sort of a good early start, and it looks like he's gonna have that here.
Is this turn 1? Okay, we have turn 1
Okay,
Vial.
turn 1 Aether Vial. I thought we had a Noble into the.
We did.
We did. Oh, it looks like he's.
Oh, but he's going. Oh gosh. Oh yeah. Never. Okay. Inquisition is good here, but.
Okay, so I see the reasoning for doing this here.
It makes sense now. Yeah.
He's gonna take that. Gonna leave Alex with the ability to play a Noble Hierarch next turn. Connor doesn't know though. He's a man who thinks.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on his hand, to be fair.
His hand appears to have a lot of 3-drop interaction.
Okay.
Champion's gone. Whatever. Alex gonna leave that down here. Don't know what he drew. Looks like a land. He's not gonna try to throw anything. But next turn he does have double Mantis Rider theoretically.
Yeah.
And if Connor has Connor has interaction.
I think
he has an Assassin's Trophy.
Well, it's not great against a Mana Dork, but okay, this makes sense.
Okay, that I'm fine with.
Yes.
Main problem being now if Alex draws into a land, he can still do the play.
True. Yeah, and if he's able to do that, this is
it's going to snowball pretty hard.
Yeah.
Now, the Maelstrom Pulse would clean it up.
True.
Unfortunately for Alex's side here. I'm starting to feel like Alex's hand might start to fall apart here.
Yeah, if he doesn't draw well here. All right.
Okay. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yep.
All right.
4.
And with the way Connor's hand is shaping right now, he doesn't really have a highly efficient play.
No. Depending on what he does, Alex's next turn is considerably strong.
Yeah, Alex can go Thalu's Lieutenant, Phantasmal Witch, Thalu's Lieutenant.
That, or he can go Mantis, turn into a Mantis Rider. Okay. Yeah, no, he's going to do the Thalu's Lieutenant. I didn't know if he had the removal.
Yeah. Alright,
Couldn't really
so
see it. Yep.
that's going to double trigger the Champion to Perish here, put up to 4/4, and then if he Phantasmal Images it, he'll put the Champion up to a 6/6.
Ugh. So good.
His other Thalu's Lieutenant becomes a 3/3, and his Noble Heart becomes a 2/3. Connor now desperately needs to draw into a board wipe.
Yep.
Looks like he does not have it. He has a Kitchen Finks. That's not good enough. He is dead. 3, 5, 6. He is dead.
Mm-hmm. Just do the thing.
I don't know if Alex knows.
Oh, well,
he is
now
just
he's
beyond dead.
Stop it. He's already dead.
Looks exactly Thulv. Yeah, but what if he has Slaughter Pact?
We've played around Slaughter Pact. Oh my. Get in there.
All right. Yep, Alex going ahead and taking that one. That hand is pretty good.
And that is why we play Phantasmal Image, folks. The card is busted.
Yeah, all right. Now, this is going to be a much rougher matchup for
Mardu Pyro.
Alex here. This is possibly the worst matchup for humans.
Okay.
Would you agree or would you disagree?
Possibly. I can't say I've actually watched this matchup too much, and I haven't played a whole lot of humans. I do love the Mardu Pyro deck, though.
Yeah.
Does have lots of cheap interaction, and it gets value for doing it. Yes, I'm in. Like, big fan of that style of deck.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've played. I haven't played very much humans, but I've played humans a little bit. I've played this matchup. I never want to experience that again.
Really? That bad, huh?
Well, all right, so they get Lingering Souls, they got all the cheap interaction. If they're able to kill off your Aether Vial or your Monodorks and they play that Blood Moon, you're locked out of the game. Like,
that's true.
They can go so wide. They just have everything. You can beat them. Humans can beat basically any deck in the format, in my opinion, with the right cards. But this isn't optimal for you.
Fair enough.
So, I'm going to make the last couple of changes here. I believe that Kirby said he was trying some new stuff on the main board, but I really don't see anything. He might have just, like, fudged the numbers on some things. He has 2 Dreadbores, 1 Forked Bolt. Nothing looks super out of the norm there.
Yeah, I don't see anything different, really. But this deck's just great.
Well, okay, I do notice the difference between specifically what he's been playing.
Okay.
There are no basic planes on the main board. There's no Nahiri the Harbinger. There's no Lightning Helix. And it looks like his sideboard might be a little different.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
I'm just gonna.
I mean, do you think that changes the matchup at all?
Like,
I think it seems fine either way.
I think the Lightning Helix is good. Losing the Nahiri is actually pretty good for you. So, like, you're losing a good card, but you're also losing a bad card.
Yeah.
And you're just gaining more removal spells.
Yeah.
So, I think that it's probably better in this matchup.
Fair enough.
See how it goes for him.
Yeah. Ready when you are. Hopefully they heard that this time.
Hopefully. And in the meanwhile, if you're curious to see those decks in a more large view, you will notice there's a little hovering thing over each of the players. That's the extension for Cardboard Live. It's just going to have their deck list up with their names. You can hover over all the cards. You can copy it to your notepad or whatever you want to do. And neat little thing that we have adapted here for the stream. Well, not we've adapted. We have started using. And they were ever so gracious enough as to mention our stream on their Twitter account.
Yes.
Which we do appreciate.
Oh, most certain.
And so I didn't see what Alex rolled, but I saw Kirby roll a 3.
Alex won the roll.
Yeah. Alex just king of winning die rolls.
It's true.
So I have had multiple events where I've not won a single die roll.
Yeah.
It's almost tilting at this point.
Oh, yeah.
I think I have like a 20% win rate at the die roll. And I just, it baffles my mind.
Yeah. It does just, like, really makes you feel bad. The moment, like, you just you realize how many die rolls you've lost in a row.
Well,
why am I even playing this game anymore?
I'm
I just
almost
want
at
to go first occasionally, please.
I'm almost at the point where I feel worse when I win the die roll because I'm like, oh no, that's all my luck for this round.
At that point, do you even know how to play your deck anymore? Like,
no, I'm like, I have one less card in hand. My opponent has less. What is going on?
I don't like any of this.
This is not okay.
Looks like Alex is on a Multube 6 currently.
Yeah.
Which, that's fine. This deck mulligans pretty well.
I think humans mulligans to 6 fairly well.
And then after that,
it gets a little... Like, the first mulligan is reasonably free.
Sure. Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah, 5 and less does feel pretty weak.
Though, I can't honestly think of a deck aside from, like, Tron or Living End that can mulligan 5 and be comfortable. Or Dredge.
True. Alright. Bolt the bird.
Alex does have a second land. It's not the best land in his deck. It's actually arguably the worst land in his deck.
Yeah.
And Kirby here just gonna 1-for-1 Alex twice in a row. And Mardu Pyromancer are a deck that does not mind playing the 1-for-1 game.
Yeah. No,
because
definitely.
believe me, they will start getting the 2-for-1s.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that a Bolt was named.
That is what I heard as well. Well, good thing we have a Dreadbore.
We also have a Kolgan's Command, which I wouldn't be surprised to see just K-Command kill that, make you discard a card.
I like it. Yep.
Oop, that,
That is... Ooh.
That's
powerful magic being played right there.
Those are the 2-for-1s that I was talking about, like...
Now Alex left with 2 cards in hand, one being an Image, and I can't see the other.
Yep.
But if we keep 1-for-1ing, Image is just not good anymore.
Nope. And I think that Kirby here are going to take a turn off of just destroying everything Alex loves to play a Lingering Souls.
How nice of Kirby.
Looks at last remaining thing. You can have this, kiddo.
Fine, I guess I'll put some creatures on the field this time.
Yep. I do appreciate the pace at which both of them play it.
Yes. No reason to be slow about it, no reason to think about everything. Like, we're fine. Alright, get in. Yeah, get rid of that.
Shredboard, yeah, man, I'm going to keep killing things. It's what I do.
Yep. And more souls.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kirby is in a good spot right now.
Yeah, no. This is why this matchup is so bad. Like,
just more images. Dreadbore is not a permanent. That needs to go to the graveyard.
Kirby is leaving it there. He's sending a message to Alex.
There it is.
I mean, Kirby is at 10 life. That's something.
I mean,
that's all though.
Well, he does have.
He has all the lands in play.
Yeah, he has drawn a lot of lands. That is not great.
And from the way that Kirby's playing, I think that he might be switching gears to chump blocking.
That's what it looks like to me as well.
Yeah, it looks
is
like.
That 2?
I think he just has 2 lands. Phantasma Machine are going to block that. Going to bounce that, buff up both of his creatures, make it so he has a favorable attack here, and puts Kirby down to 8 life. And if Kirby blanks a couple more times, nope, never mind.
Figured it out.
So this Kolgan's Command can only kill 1 creature currently, but he can cast it on draw step to make Alex discard whatever he draws. That mode in Kolgan's Command is the most disgusting thing when you start getting it going.
Instant speed discard.
Yeah,
real good.
I have played a lot of that card, and I've cast it on draw step more than any other time, I would say. Looks like Kirby disagrees.
Well, we've only got the 1 card in hand.
Oh, Alex has a card in hand.
Yeah, it's...
Okay.
Why not?
No, I thought that he had 0 cards in hand.
I see, yeah. No, if he had no cards, he most certainly would wait. Oh, that's a good one.
That's a Mantis. Ooh.
Heck yeah.
Now, I mean, Alex still does have a reasonable creature in play, but...
Yes.
Aether Vial's not great.
Alright. I mean, there are a few cards that Kirby can draw here to really...
hammer it home.
Yeah, like if he draws a Reveler.
If he draws a Reveler, another Lingering Souls, a Faithless Looting probably digs him whatever he needs. He drew a land.
And then just accidentally played the other land.
I can appreciate the fact that he tripped through it on the table and just like, nope, this is I played it. That's what I'm meant to do. This is what I do.
That's what I'm about.
Alex here cannot crack his Horizon Canopy. Kirby here cannot draw a non-land card.
Jeez.
Oh, wait, no. He drew a Bedlam Reveler.
Oh, okay. Life is good. Okay.
If he drew a Bedlam Reveler, I think that's game ending.
Whew.
And it costs 3 mana, I believe.
Probably.
Yeah.
4. Okay, Blood Moon, Faithless, and... Is that Bolt?
Yeah, that's pretty good. He has 1 black mana. He can deploy this Blood Moon if he wants. Probably shuts Alex out of the game.
Oh,
Faithless Looting.
Ooh, Fork Bolt.
Fork Bolt, not bad.
That'll do. That'll play here.
It's actually better at Lightning Bolt than killing that Phantasmal Image because it also deals 1 damage to Alex.
Yes. Or Alex swings in, we get the double block.
Well,
okay.
Fork Bolt's a sorcery.
Oh, that's right. I haven't played that card in a long time.
Yeah. No.
To be fair.
No, that's reasonable.
I was thinking.
Alex here's bad spot. Game over spot, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, he has a lot of... Kirby has a lot of damage to do, but what's he worried about?
Not much.
Like, he can... I feel like every way he could lose is mitigated by him playing well.
Yes. So, discard Inquisition. Thoughtseize probably.
I don't...
Play the Liliana?
He can't play the Liliana. He only has 1 swamp.
Dang. Darn Blood Moon.
Looks like he's keeping the Inquisition in case there's a Mantis Rider in Alex's hand.
And there was.
God.
That's
got
you know what?
him.
This is a better player than me. I don't even know why I'm commentating anymore. He needs to get back in here. Just actually better than.
Just, Kirby also missed one of his prowess triggers that Alex caught. Kirby was like, why'd you take that much damage? And Alex was like, because prowess, my dude.
Because you played a lot of things, man.
Now, Kirby is considering going to 1 life. Kirby has gone to 1 life. Phantasmal Image would be baller from Alex's side.
Yeah.
Lethal. Alrighty then. Martyr Pyromancer, he got low. Like, I'll give credit to Alex. That was about as good a start as Kirby could have, and he was able to get him pretty low.
Yes.
Let's look at the sideboard here from the Martyr Pyromancer side to start.
Alright.
So, let's see. We got Engineered Explosives, possibly Ensnaring Bridge.
Yeah, that's the first things that I saw as well.
I'll pull up Ensnaring Bridge because that's 1 card that if you're just tuning in and don't know much about Modern, you might not know. So, what do you not like in this matchup? I'm kind of leaning towards the Thoughtseizes.
Yeah, especially on the draw.
Yeah, on the draw they are pretty weak.
Yeah.
And it's just a question of, do you want the Ensnaring Bridge? You definitely want the Engineered Explosives. I don't think there's anything else you really want.
Yeah, I think you're perfectly fine with just taking out 3 Thoughtseizes, putting in that.
Okay.
Seems fine.
Seems reasonable. Human side, I know the first card that's coming to mind is going to be, is it Staticaster to deal with the Lingering Souls tokens?
Certainly.
And the Pyromancer tokens? But you actually have a lot of stuff to play with in your sideboard in this matchup. Like, you have a lot of cards that could come in.
Sin Collector seems good.
I mean, so Sin Collector is good. Alright, Champion is not bad. Can't really get killed by anything. And Hostage Shaker isn't good enough, but the other 3, 5, 7 cards we mentioned are all good enough to be brought in here. So you probably want to get Phantasmal Images. Phantasmal Images lose their power when your opponent's just constantly killing what you're doing.
Yes.
If there's not a good creature in play, Phantasmal Image, it's not a good card. Outside of that, I don't know what your weakest cards are. If you bring in your Sin Collectors or your Freebird or something you want to keep in,
Well,
It's like that, or your Thales lieutenants. I don't think you want to cut your nobles or your champions.
No.
Your meddling mages feel really strong, but a little stretched in this matchup.
Yeah.
Like, they're... To the degree that they're stretched, how good are they?
Still think they're good.
Only other card, maybe... Is Aether Vial a risk card here?
Oh, like I understand because you don't want to get K commanded, things like that, but I think you have to have it.
Yeah.
Because like those, especially here on the play, because it's so explosive, and then even on the draw, you still kind of want it to catch back up.
Okay. Then at that point, aside from the Phantasma images, are there anything that we want to cut for what we have? Or are we just bringing in 4 cards?
Well, it's possible Reflector Mage feels a little weak.
Okay. Actually, yeah, I think that's correct. So that's actually 7 cards.
Mm-hmm.
And we have some cards we're going to bring in, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's go and click on this thing and tell them they can start whenever.
Good to start. All right, and yep, that is one of the better starts that we will see here from Alex.
Yep. Kirby's hand, I see a bunch of 1-drop removal spells and a Lightning Bolt.
Yeah.
I mean, Blood Moon. Lightning Bolt is a 1-drop removal spell. Blood Moon, not as strongest when there's an Aether Vial in play.
True, but Mardu Pyromancer being able to, draw into a K command, hit that Aether Vial, and now all of a sudden, Alex can't play Magic.
It also can stretch Alex's resources because if Alex doesn't draw into his basic planes, and he has 3 drops and 2 drops in hand, he has to decide what he wants to keep that vial on.
True. Well, we did have another vial, but I would not be surprised.
I see a Knight of Autumn in this being brought in here. Actually, real quick, let me click on that card.
Yeah, bring that up.
Knight of Autumn. What does this card do here?
Oh, it destroys Blood Moon.
It destroys. There we go. We found
That's
the line.
the one. Figured it out. That's right, because it replaced
Reclamation Sage.
Reclamation Sage, yeah.
Because aside from the casting cost, it's just strictly better. And the creature type if you care about elves.
True. Alright, turn to Young Pyro by Kirby, so that can lead into some pretty sweet stuff.
Yep.
And a Bugler.
A Bugler gonna hit Thales Lieutenant, yes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, he can't take the
Oh, you're right, that's right. That's the only
one
it doesn't hit, right?
Yeah, that's why I said ooh and then stopped.
Yeah.
So Kirby has the Blood Moon in hand, but he knows that it just gets blanked by the card in hand. The card that Alex has in his hand. So he's going to have to instead cast Thoughtseize here. Okay. Kirby here making the correct play and responding to the activation of the Aether Vial by killing the Bugler to prevent a Phantasma image from blowing him out.
Yep.
Alright, I like that.
So Alex is left with Knight of Autumn in his hand?
Yep.
Oof.
He does have an Auric Champion in play, but that only does so much against the Young Pyromancer.
Yeah.
Just gonna go and crack that.
Makes sense. What we got here?
Noble. Alright. He's gonna start trying to get in there for 2 damage. Not gonna try to hold back and play the blocking game against the Pyromancer deck. That's not what you're trying to do.
Yeah, makes sense. Now this game, Kirby is light on lands.
He's light on lands. He does have plenty of resources, though. And he's offering up the offering a tempting block to Alex's side here, but Alex isn't going to walk into the obvious removal spell.
Yeah.
Now, Kirby can either play another Young Pyromancer or hold up Lightning Bolt Fatal Push, and it looks like he's in favor of doing the holding up plan.
Yeah, I agree with that because of situations like this. But we would rather not. Not take a bunch of damage if we can help it.
Alright. Swings it for 1. I mean 2. Can't be blocked.
Should he push the noble? Do you think? Because we've got.
Well, the minor
things.
Well, no.
Now we got Key Command too. Jeez. Well.
Alex missed 1 Auriok trigger. To answer, he gained 1 life, but he did not gain the life off of the elemental that entered the battlefield. I do believe that is a May, though, and we are going to hold him to that one.
Yeah. He goofed.
Actually, gonna double check if that's a May. I mean, we're gonna hold him to it regardless, but
yeah. Yeah, it's May.
Yeah.
Thought so. Right. He remembered that one, so it's all good.
Alright, now Alex, you're just gonna throw out this knight. The knight's pretty free here.
And this is what I was actually wondering if that card's good enough, since the Pyromancer deck, has infinite blockers essentially.
Yep. Yeah, that's something we didn't mention, but it's pretty good here.
Yeah.
It's gonna gain him a few life as well, and now he's gonna make this knight unblockable. Kirby cannot kill it with Fatal Push.
Whew.
Is there any reason to not just attack with the knight by itself?
I don't know. Yeah, let's stop that while we can.
Mostly because he can hold back the if he holds back the knight, I mean the Auriok, there's no way that he can kill the knight, so the same amount of damage goes through.
Yeah. Plus, you just have a blocker.
Yeah, like I don't think it's gonna matter that much this game. Just minor thing of note.
Yeah, I can agree. Alright. This Auriok champion is
doing work.
Just real bad. Real bad for Kirby.
The reason is 2 turn clock. Okay.
Well, no, it would still be the same clock if Knight had attacked by itself because of the Exalted trigger.
The Exalted will have made it so the Knight was a 5-power creature as well. So it will have done the same amount of damage had he attacked with just the Knight as if he had just attacked with the Knight and the Auriok. This way he just has 1 less blocker left behind. So he could essentially get 1 life higher after this combat if Kirby attacks him with a large amount of creatures.
Like he's doing.
It would also disincentivize Kirby from attacking with the Young Pyros.
Yeah.
And Kirby's getting low, but he's getting Alex low. This is going to be a very to the last life point game.
Yes.
And every spell that he casts is gaining Alex 2 life. But also getting him 2 elementals. It's really weird.
Yeah. Generally speaking, that's going to work out for Kirby in the long run. But because Alex is ahead,
it gets a little weirder when the humans player is this far ahead.
Yeah.
And looking at the way Kirby's hand is, if Alex draws into a Mantis Rider, a Thalia's Lieutenant, a Phantasmal Image, a Noble Hierarch, he has a lot of cards that just win him the game here. It looks like he did not draw any of them, though. And he's got a Sin Collector on draw step.
Ooh.
That EE is pretty clutch.
Oh, wow. Nicely done.
That was a close game. Alex just taking the loss there, though. He fought it pretty hard, but Martyr Pyromancer is just really good at that grinding out game.
Oh, 100%.
Now, going to the final match of the night, Now we're gonna have the Jund versus Mario Pyromancer. We're gonna have the two mid-range decks of the format going against each other. Jund has a new toy in the form of the Assassin Trophy. This is gonna allow him to conveniently answer the what's his name, Bedlam Reveler. And I think that in general, Mardu is slightly better at playing the mid-range game, funnily enough, but it feels very close.
Oh, yeah. This should be a fun matchup. I would probably put my vote towards Mardu as well. But there are certain things that Jund can do that will just be able to,
like, in general,
take it over. So
in general, I'm just going to do a quick little look at Mardu.
Yeah.
So Mardu Pyromancer is a little bit better at doing the 2-for-1 game because you have all these cards with flashback. You have a really strong Kolaghan's Command game, and you have a really strong Liliana Last Hope game. And Bedlam Reveler itself draws you 3 cards.
Yes.
The thing is that it doesn't have as much early pressure, but it doesn't need it. It doesn't have Tarmogoyfs, etc.
Right.
But in this matchup, you don't care that much about the early pressure. So that's why it's likely that the Jund deck is not favored here. But looking at Jund, they do have some tools.
Yes.
Mostly Bloodbraid Alpha is a strong card.
Yeah, that's the one that came to mind as well, because like just doing the 2-for-1 there. And after sideboard, actually, like Kalitas or Kalitas, whatever you want to call him.
Kalitas?
Anger, things like that are really good.
Yeah. And the Scavenging Ooze can help in this matchup.
Certainly.
In the main board, just as a way to aid Lingering Souls, cut down on Bedlam Reveler discounts, etc., etc.
Yes.
I think that it's going to be a very tough matchup for the Jund deck to win, but it doesn't feel unlosable. And that's kind of the thing that Jund has had going for historically, is that it doesn't have many knockout, like 80% win rate matches, but boy, does it have a lot of like 55, 50, 45 matches where like they're really close.
The deck is always just okay. There's never like, man, that deck's just garbage. Nope, it's, I can probably do it.
I respect...
It's the, Thomas the Tank Engine of Modern.
Yeah, he can do it, theoretically. Like, no, I respect people who play the deck. It's not for me, it just kind of... So, it's not that the deck isn't skill-intensive. It is. It feels kind of boring a lot of times.
I agree.
And that's saying a lot, considering I like to play decks with Path to Exile, Logic Knot, all these other things. It just feels like you're kind of locked in, not locked in these lines, but you're doing a lot of the same lines at the same time, and you kind of just have to lock into them the turn that you do draw them a lot of times. Well, this is... Wake up. What?
Game 1 of what?
What? This is the final round.
It says round 6 of 6.
This is round 6 of 6. 0 versus... Yeah, this is 0 versus 0. They just started.
It's the... Yeah.
It's the final round.
They just...
Hush up.
Yeah. What are you doing over there?
Anyways, what's up, Rooster023? Nice to have someone in there who can, you know, figure out things. The timer, however, is incorrect. So that has been fixed.
Yeah.
Let me double check to make sure that this is correct. Yes.
Hooray. Huzzah.
Huzzah. Of 6, thank you, Rooster. Thank you, Blind Orphan. Taking this a darker place.
Yeah.
It is Halloween, after all. Well, not... The entire month of October is Halloween.
Yeah, that's...
Cannot... Hell, Santa... Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. Dedicate this stream to Santa. Hail Santa.
That's fair. I feel like a common thing that I see from people that don't, like... People that know me specifically is that for some reason they like to give me specifically crap in the stream comments. And also people who don't. Really, in general, I just attract people not liking me, and I don't know why.
just feels like the world is pain, existence is...
It's just all, none of it's good.
You are now Natty Ice.
I've been called that.
Alright, so who started out the game. Kirby
took the Scavenging Goose from
Makes a lot of sense.
Ryan's side.
Yes.
And Ryan took the Blood Moon from Kirby's side.
And pass.
Looks like whole lot of nothing's really going on both their hands.
Yeah.
Like, Kirby has the Lingering Souls, and it is good in this matchup, but it's not doing anything super quick.
I believe he's about to get a Thoughtseize. Nope. Wait. Yes.
Yep, Thoughtseize.
Yep, that's the one.
So, if Kirby... What is Kirby working with? He's just working with a Lightning Bolt. Alright. So, Ryan's going to take 5 here.
Yep.
He's going to eat the front half of Lingering Souls. Ryan should be at 15. Kirby's fixing that. And now Kirby is going to be able to get 2 1-1s, but nothing unbeatable.
Yeah.
Connor, I am stuck on you right now with the comments. So you're going to have to deal with that. Yeah. I know.
Oh, look. Lands.
Yes.
Kirby likes drawing them lands.
He sure is getting into the October spirit right now. With the spirits.
Mm.
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 Mm-hmm.
Alright. If it pleases me, I would like to inform you in the chat, nothing pleases me, I am always disappointed.
Well, dang.
Ooh.
Yeah, Ryan's hand is also just meh.
I honestly feel like even though like there's not a ton going on, this feels kind of accurate for how this match can go.
Oh yeah, no.
Like you both got 6 discard spells on the main board, excluding like Collective Brutality. Like
yeah, it's all just about top decks and stuff. Like just, and then how can we answer those top decks? Look, a discard spell.
Oh, sorry, 6 and 7 discard spells.
Oh. Alright, we bolt Kirby. You get the trophy.
The Blind Orphan, I don't know who you are, but I like the way you think.
Yeah. Dig it.
Alright.
Yep.
They're just trading little slaps.
Stop it.
So, the reason why the 1-1's better than 3-3 right now, because the 1-1 is 2 creatures.
Mm-hmm.
That's how this matchup goes, and why Lingering Souls is good. It doesn't seem very important if you haven't played the Decaton because it's just a 1-1, but it's having 2 1-1s, just when you're trading 1 for 1 all the time, it goes a long way. Got another 3, wow. Ryan didn't even have to tap his lands for that.
Mm-mm.
Just fire it up.
What? I don't think that's how that works at all.
Like
he willed it to be. He just went, yes.
Yes, my child, you are a 3-3.
I have the power.
We're just gonna ignore
it. It can't matter. Like, unless he does something here.
If it matters, I'm gonna be upset.
Right? So you're like, don't do it. Whatever you're doing. It's fun. Okay.
Almost had a fun. Oh, he drew an assassin trophy. Now, do you want an assassin trophy of spirit?
The answer may surprise you.
Is Kirby just gonna lose to this treetop village?
I mean,
is this the world we live in?
Currently not winning against this treetop village.
He can't kill it.
Yeah.
I can't tell what the other card he drew. He drew a Caelwyn's Command. He still can't kill it.
Well, he still has the looting, I guess.
This is nuts. Another Colgan's. Okay, Young Peasy is fine.
Yeah.
Also, If Ryan has a lightning bolt, Kirby's dead.
Right. Yeah. Well, we can't play around the lightning bolt. Yeah, we just have Assassin's Trophy in 2 lands. Wonderful.
This format's nuts. Like, Modern just the most busted format.
Oh, it's so good. I'm so happy about it.
Now, this is one of those times where normally the flexibility from Dreadbore makes it slightly more worthwhile than the Terminates, but this is a situation where, boy, he wishes he had to Terminate.
Yeah, it's real bad right now. But that's about the only situation where it's that bad, to be fair.
Yeah, and there are a couple situations against, like, humans or Control, but and a majority of the time, I mean, against Control, you prefer to have Dreadbore, so.
Oh, yeah.
Lightning Bolt, Kolaghan's Command? Nope, can't cast Kolaghan's Command.
Nope. Can't do it. Can't even do it.
But, I mean, even if Kirby can somehow stabilize through this Treetop Village, he has to start ending the game quickly.
Well, to be fair, Ryan is at 6.
Ryan is at 6, yes.
So, and he's got K Command, right?
He has K Command, yes.
That's pretty good.
Now, last turn, he had the K Command before he flashed back to Lingering Souls, right?
Yes.
He could have just double blocked the Treetop Village and K Commanded it.
Yeah.
And maybe that would have been correct here, because this turn, if he goes to do the double block thing, Ryan can use a single kill spell to kill Kirby.
Yeah. This is aggressive.
That is more aggressive than you should ever be.
And we might.
That
feels wrong.
Was that what you really want?
Oh.
Oh.
Hey, it makes sense now.
He's kind of dread for it. The madman. Now, Ryan should assert his dominance and kill it.
Oh my.
Alright, so. Oh, 2 damage. Never mind. I thought he was casting dead.
No,
just dead.
Pew pew.
Bam.
Get him.
Alright, Jund.
John. Well.
We got that Cletus. We got that Kitchen Finks. We got that Kolaghan's Command.
Yep.
Are we finna surgical anything?
No, not really.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it's not actually a card. It's
yeah.
So.
Yeah. Anger
is fine. What's bad? Is this one of those times where you are playing a mid-range match, so you take out your discard spells?
I think so. I think I'd.
Thoughtseize specifically would go first. That's 3 cards, and you have up to 6 cards if you bring in the Anger. I'm not completely sold on the necessity of the Anger, but being able to kill those lingering boys helps.
Yeah, but I just like it if it's a good way to, if Kirby gets a little bit ahead.
Yeah.
To have a way in your deck to catch back up real fast.
Yeah.
But
we'll see how he sideboards.
Yeah.
Let's look at the Mardu Pyromancer side. Actually, I'm gonna pause the timer while we're doing this.
That's fair.
Because we're holding them up at this point. Mario Pyromancer, bop. I know Kirby likes Cannonball in these type of matchups, so we're probably gonna see Cannonball make an appearance.
Yep.
Rival Man, maybe, probably not. No Rival Man. So just
did we bring in Molten Rain to destroy that one Treetop Village because it killed us? Just out of anger, just out of spite.
Out of pure spite, we bring in the lane destruction. I'm not sold on that.
No, probably not. But
I think we're just gonna see Campbell's Chicken Noodle Soup.
Yep.
And then just cut some miscellaneous Thoughtseize or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, Kirby just has his deck out, has his card just everywhere, cannot decide.
Not as many piles as we're used to, though. I was hoping for 6 different piles.
6 different. You gotta take your opponent's deck from their hands and start putting their deck in piles.
Oh, excellent! Yes. Tell them how to sideboard.
bold. You got to show them who's winning the match.
I'll sideboard for you and let you win, but I want you to know that I won because I did the sideboarding.
I don't know why, but this just made me think of an event that happened a long time ago. I was playing, like, I borrowed Affinity off a friend or something.
Mm-hmm.
And round one, just with, like, a bunch of people around, my opponent just takes the deck and just throws up in the air on accident.
Yeah.
It just goes everywhere.
Oh.
No. Because now he knows what I'm playing.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what I'm playing. Also, there's just cards on the ground. There's just Mox Opals flying around, whatever.
No.
This is a bad time. Please do not do that.
Yeah, don't. All right. Let them know. We're ready to play when you are.
Start that round timer. Kalitas. All right. All right. I'm gonna do this for them.
Yeah. Perfect.
Bam.
Good stuff.
Good quality content. I think Ryan's taking mulligan this time.
Yes. Ryan is currently on a mulligan.
Okay.
With Kirby looking like he's happy with a 7.
I mean, yeah. I think that this is another situation where if he mulligans 6 on the draw, he's probably fine.
Yes.
Being down a card in the mid-range matchup isn't great, though.
True. Yeah, you do generally use up every little resource you have.
And it's worse for John because he's going to have a harder time getting 2 for 1s than Kirby's going to have.
Mm-hmm. There's that treetop village.
Fine,
Go ahead, play it. Show him his boss.
Throw it on the table. Would you like to concede?
Yeah.
Alright, turn 1 Thoughtseize. We're going to see... looks like we see a Rabbly Boy, a Faithless Looting, a Pyromancer, a Bedlam, and a Fatal Push.
Okay.
It's interesting. That's...
Ooh.
That's a hot take there.
Yeah.
I get it.
Right.
I'm not for sure.
So we're just hoping Kirby never draws a 3rd land, essentially?
Yeah, I have to wonder if not taking the Bedlam Rebel is going to punish him in the long run.
Yeah, I can agree. The card is extremely powerful.
Yeah. And now Ryan's in a weird spot because he has the Lightning Bolt and the Fatal Push to answer the Young Pyromancer and the Goblin Rabbly Man, but he wants to play that Treetop at some point.
Yep. We won't.
Oh. And his misprint Bloodstained Mire.
Is it misprint?
That doesn't have the stamp.
Oh no.
At least he says it's misprint. He probably just got off eBay and it was like super fake and he was like, nah, it's a misprint, guys.
Nah, dog. It's real. Trust me.
Why is the back of this card literally just a playing card?
It's a Pokemon card. It's probably not right.
Some of the paint's coming off. You can see that's just like a Squirtle.
Alright, little Faithless Looting.
And, Why don't we kill the Young Pyromancer? Does he not actually have a Fatal Push in hand? Am I missing? He might not have a Fatal Push in hand.
No,
that's a Scavenduku's. Okay.
But we still have a Bolt.
Still have a Bolt. I guess he's more concerned about the Rabbly Boy.
I guess. I mean, I get that. But also, this Pyro can just get out of control real fast.
Yeah. And Kirby taking his time. Also, if he was going to kill it, he should kill it before this Faithless Looting resolves, because now if Kirby has another sorcery, he can get one more Spirit before Ryan can do anything.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, that was his time to do it.
Just small little priority things. Kirby showing that his hand is pretty good by discarding that Lightning Bolt here.
Yeah, definitely. He goes, hold. Hold the phone. Alright. Do you aggressively Fatal Push your own Pyromancer to get a token?
I thought about it for a second.
I know, right? But it's not worth it, obviously. It's just...
So I remember that on one of our older streams, Kirby could have won a game if he had Fatal pushed his Bedlam Reveler, but didn't realize he could do that. Even though he'd been playing deck for a little bit, and so like we made a comment about it, and then the next week he won an IQ, and like in the finals he won the game because of that exact interaction.
That's fantastic.
Just really showing the power of listening to people like question your plays.
Yep. Oh, there's a Rabbly boy.
And Ryan doesn't have a removal spell for it.
I'm
What?
confused on why we didn't play the treetop.
Or the Scavenging Goose. What do we?
What have we done?
So, did we just? Why did we do that? What are we doing? Are we just casting the Cletus? Do we think that's good? Okay, we're casting a Bloodbraid.
Well, that's fine.
It'd be better if you had a Scavenging Goose in play.
It would. Nope.
Oh no!
Oh,
Can't.
wow.
Wow.
Hey, look, we have a Scavenging Ooze in play.
Wow. Weird.
Oh boy.
I'm really just baffled
Hot dog.
by
We
that
could have
last
two of
turn.
them. Yeah, I don't know.
Fatal push. Poop. Lightning bolt. Poop.
Mm.
Now you're gonna take 7 damage. Go to 6 life and boop boop boop. You're dead.
That's a lot of damage. Hey, look.
That treetop village.
Ooh, showed up right on time.
He
Yeah,
only-
let's play Bob. Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Alright, Scavenging Goose Bob. Bob. Yep.
The best.
Wow.
The best.
Now think if you had one more mana open, you could activate that Scavenging Goose. Or if you had a Scavenging Goose already in play, you could activate it twice.
And it could not die to the Skulligan's
God,
Cave.
it wouldn't. Wow. Weird.
Can you imagine? He's dead. Yeah,
Uh,
you don't. Yeah.
he's not quite dead. He's at 2 life.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's.
Oh wait, no.
Yeah, you don't. You don't.
You,
offer
you
up
don't.
the Rebel.
You don't offer the Rabbly man.
No need. It's still the same.
Yeah, it
No,
deals.
you blocked the goblin. Yeah, block the goblin.
Thank you.
And.
Alright.
See, should have brought in the anger.
Yeah, man, that would have been.
Or played the treetop village.
Yeah, just play the. He could have done both the
Yeah.
same turn.
Yeah. Well, that's the one. That's hindsight. Two. That's us seeing it from a different angle and stuff. Maybe I don't.
Sure.
You
sure.
know. But
I mean, like
that
maybe
definitely seems like the correct plays. To do
maybe
that.
there's just a reason to do nothing aggressively. Like aggressively doing nothing might be correct.
I mean, sure, you put the fear of God in them, make them believe that you have all the things or none of the things.
Draw a card, look at your hand, nod your head confidently, look at
And
your opponent. Leave your stuff on the table.
Casually stroll away. Go over to the concession stand, get a Coke. Start talking to other people, just like your opponent's still just sitting there going, why?
So, all right. To answer Bronze 5 LP, when you say good Jund, I assume you mean Pyromancer. When you say bad Jund, I assume you mean actual Jund. I think that Mardu Pyromancer is still the better mid-range deck, but Assassin's Trophy might give Mardu some more play in some different matchups. Specifically, it might help out a little bit against Tron, or it might help out a little bit against Blue-White Control or Jeskai Control. Though, of note, Mardu Pyromancer has a good Jeskai control matchup. Well, actually, it's a little bit weird. It had a good Jeskai control matchup before Jeskai Miracles became the more popular version, but it feels a lot more winnable for the Jeskai side when it's on Miracles and 5 Planeswalkers. I'm going to take that to be a compliment. Yeah, so the plugin is known as Cardboard Live. Pretty great, honestly. This is our first week testing it, but it kind of makes it so if you're watching the stream, you can just kind of hover over and see the deck, and it's really convenient, actually. Big fan.
So Ryan has decided that the treetop village was good enough this time, allowing us to turn two Scoos into death. It has died. It is no longer. It once was and shall not be this game.
Whew.
And with a follow-up.
Thoughtseize. Ooh. Looks like some number of those have been left in. And we're going to see Bloodbraid Elf and a Tarmogoyf. No surprise Bloodbraid Elf gets taken there. That Tarmogoyf can be handled at Kirby's leisure.
Yep. Means we have a answer for it in the name of Dreadbore and Fatal Push. Ooh, we got super answered.
And Ryan here looks like he just picked up another land, meaning he just has all lands and a Tarmogoyf.
I mean, you have to deploy it, but...
And Kirby already has that Fatal Push pull forward. Oh,
Well, no, so if you pull Pyro here, you get the Pyro, get value.
And there's no real reason. Like, if you draw Lingering Souls, oh, well.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. My bad. I should just not question Kirby as a player. He's probably better than I am.
Aggressive.
I was about to say the exact same words.
Powerfully bold play.
All right, so it means that Ryan can't play another Tarmogoyf this turn. He can't play Dark Confidant. He can't play Scavenging Ooze.
Just can't do it.
And Kirby has the removal for the Treetop if Ryan gets aggressive, and there's a good chance the Treetop gets fired up because there's enough bad cards that Ryan could draw that would make it so that would be the best thing he can do.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't remember what comment you're talking to. I'm Nathaniel. The other one's Justin.
Yeah.
The one that thinks he's funny, but really Justin's just laughing from out of pity is Nathaniel. The one laughing out of pity is Justin.
See? Hilarious.
It isn't. He's just really good at acting.
Heck yeah. And Fatal Push.
Man, I saw this play coming from like a mile away. Weird. Thoughtseize. Whew. Just do like... Did he even completely show his hand? He's just like, nope, that's enough.
Yeah.
Both fall down drunk. I don't drink. Justin's probably drunk. I don't know his life.
I'm not currently.
Oh, shoot. He's not currently, man. I feel bad for him.
Certainly not fall down drunk. At the very least. I'm definitely sit up drunk. If I'm drunk at all.
Yeah, no.
I'm not.
You just cut to a camera view of us, and it's just us laying on the ground.
I hope this works. How's everybody feel? Oh, good.
Oh, yeah,
A blood moon.
It's a blood moon.
Heck yeah.
Boop. Blood moon.
Just a little blood moon action.
All right, now we're just playing the blood moon game. Ryan is going to have a forest and a swamp, and Kirby has 2 swamps. Oh, Bronze 5LPO. Thank you for the follow. Always great to have someone else getting there.
That's all we've done these games.
This is the epitome of magic right here.
Look, action.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh, okay then. That's the actual best.
Yeah, that is the power of Bloodbraid Elf right there.
I think that Kirby might get this one.
You mean Ryan?
Kirby might lose this one.
There it is. Those are the words.
I'm gonna...
Those sure are words.
They sure are. I'm sure I am good at people. Okay, yeah, that boop gained some life. What else are we doing? Got some Lingering Souls.
Yeah.
Dying. Looks like we're dying. Oh, Lightning Bolt. Okay.
Figured it out. Uh-oh, we're dying. Well, we'll go to 1.
Okay. That's... I
mean...
Living on the... Oh, dead. Okay, so... I called Kirby as winning that game, but he ended up losing it there.
Well, that many lands and...
Yeah. It happens, but no.
Well, to be fair, Bloodbraid Elf really showed its power off there at the end of that game.
I mean,
it was just like...
It also
a clock.
It also hit the best card to hit in his deck.
It did.
I think honestly at that point it was better than one of his Assorted Lilianas.
Oh yes.
But all right, so let's do a little wrap up on what all we had here tonight. So we had round 1. It was you with Risky Burn versus Ryan on Jund.
Yep.
I lost that.
I did not win.
You lost again to Zoo?
I did.
Wow, amazing. Then we had Connor on Green Black Rock go against Zoo. God forbid, I don't remember how that went. I know he lost to Humans. I think he won against Zoo. He won against Zoo.
Yes.
Then we had Kirby win versus Humans, and Kirby lose to Jund.
Yes.
Making Jund the winner of the night.
Sure. Good job, Jund.
Good job, Jund. Showing off a little bit of your power here. And if you want to see this again, we are going to be showing this on repeat tonight, starting immediately after we finish. And next week, if you enjoyed the content you saw this week, please do feel free to tune in again at 7:30. We're going to be bringing you more Magic content, same format. Not necessarily the same people here in commentary, but I assure they'll be at least somewhat adequate. And thanks to all who showed up tonight.
Indeed. Thank you all.
And thanks for those who got there.